Are you guys ready?
For what?
The Lakers?
Shut up, man.
To win the NBA championship?
Shut up.
Luka's back. I don't know if you saw. They just played the Mavericks. He was making layups again. He was getting to the rim again.
That was a very...
He wasn't looking too fat anymore.
That was a very... Obviously, Luka's going 45 isn't crazy. That was a special day. This man had tears in his eyes before the game. You knew he was dropping 40.
I call that motivation. I call that...
You knew he was dropping 40. And that was crazy, though.
Well, we're going to have plenty of time to talk about the Lakers today. Plenty of time to talk about all the best teams in the NBA. Because as you guys see by the title, we're doing our third and final power rankings of the season. Mm-hmm. This is the last podcast of the regular season. By the time we get to next Friday when the next episode is out, the play-in tournament's going to be done. We're going to be prepping for full-on NBA playoff coverage. So I think today is a good time to do our lay of the land, do our final rankings, and really talk about who we think are the best teams in the NBA, how they stack up against each other. But today we're going to do it a little bit differently. For the first two, we all come with our top 30 lists, or top 20 for the playoffs, counting play-in teams. Today we're going to make a combined list. And in fact, we're going to do it with this graphic you see on screen right now. We're going to make a combined top 20 with a kind of pseudo tier list element. We're going to put them all in a pyramid, so we really have to think about the order, plus the groupings to make it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more mental challenge going involved. Should be fun.
Yes, this is the proper way, because we've, especially when we talk about like the Cavs and the Celtics and all that, like we talked about all year, like the inner circles and stuff like that. This is a very good way to visualize it.
Yeah. Yes. It's add a little spice to it. And at this point, we were all aware of how we each individually feels. I think it's more fun to make a combined list to kind of have like the T3 consensus who are the best teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
We have a slight problem. As you guys saw by the intro, you couldn't hear or see Mo. Good news is he is in this episode, and you will hear him just fine as soon as I cue this music and we get back and jump into the episode. Bad news is we lost the first 30 minutes or so of his video file. So, yeah, for the intro of the episode, the first 30 minutes of Yap, you won't see him. Well, I guess you'll see him, but you won't see his video file. You'll see a slightly different version of him. And then about 30 minutes in, we'll kick back into normal, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. It'll be a regular episode. Business as usual. So, sorry for the inconvenience. Bear with us for about 30 minutes of just looking at me and Donovan, and then we'll get back into the show as normal.
The cranium is crazy! Oh my god!
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice!
All right, I think we should start at the bottom of this list, right? Kind of get the teams that don't really have a chance. They're here because of technicality. They're here because the play-in tournament exists, and we don't know who's coming out of it yet, so we got to include them. Let's talk about the weakest teams in this, and then we'll move our way up to the top. Who is the number 20 team on this list? Who is by far the worst team here?
It doesn't even matter who the worst team is, because 16 through 20 all suck. And it's all the Eastern Conference playing teams. I'm talking Orlando, Atlanta.
It's not just the East.
In these four, I'm putting the Eastern Conference in 16 through 20. It is 5. Well, you know what? They take a 4 of the 5. They can do that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going Bulls.
Spots.
I'm not going Bulls at 20. I like what we've seen from the Bulls in terms of what it takes to win a play-in tournament game. This team has been running fast, getting up threes. Josh Giddey's grabbing rebounds, running in transition, flinging that bitch out. Montes Uzelis is playing well. Kobe White is playing well. I think they might get out of the play-in tournament. So they're not number 20 to me.
I don't know. Is the Bulls game this in today's age really play-in tournament built? I don't know.
What is play-in tournament built?
Been said before, but from what I've seen, the play-in tournament is different, bro. It's not playoff basketball, but it's not regular season basketball. It's a good in between. It's not serious, but also at the same time, it's semi-serious.
Shit gets spooky in the DeMar DeRozan Trae Young Invitational. Boys turn to men.
Exactly. And I understand that, but like, come on. It's whoever
the
they are playing.
They're 20.
But who are they playing? Right? Like right now they're in the 9. They're going to be playing the 10 seed, who is the Miami Heat, who I think should be at 20. I think the Heat.
I agree.
I think the Heat are the worst team out of all 20 teams currently in play-in position.
I agree. We're going Bulls at Heat at 20. And you know what? I almost feel inclined to not go Bulls at 19.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I almost feel inclined to actually look out west.
Ooh.
Do we think so? The Dallas Mavericks, 38 and 42. They have Anthony Davis back. They have Derek Lively back on a minutes restriction. They just played the Lakers and defensively played really well. Gave them a hard-fought game to the second half. I struggle to imagine this team does anything without a point guard right now. They started Najee Harris essentially as their point guard and had Dinwiddie as a backup because Kyrie's gone.
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris.
Najee
Najee
Harris.
Marshall.
Najee
running
Marshall.
back?
Najee Marshall. They started Najee Marshall as their
Marshall.
point guard essentially in that game when full switchable defensively. It's a fucking stellar defense. It is such a non-starter to win a playoff series, even if they get out of the tournament. Like, you're not winning with that approach to offense. Life is so hard for Anthony Davis, so hard for Derek Lively, doing a two big lineup with nobody that can pass the ball at above average rate. The offense is a non-negotiable without Kyrie.
They're not serious. Like
And it's not their fault. They just can't be serious.
I understand that. I'm okay with them being at 19. And honestly, now that we're talking about it, shout out to maybe 2 members of the Eastern Conference playing, because you might not be in the bottom row. You might not be there.
19 and 20.
Exactly, but we can't put Dallas at 19.
Yeah, and it's not their fault again. Last 15 games are 24th in defense and 23rd in offense. And they haven't had what they have now for a lot of those games, right? But I almost feel like they'd be 20th just because they should be disqualified because they don't have a chance. Anybody can get out of the playing tournament, or they can get hot and win a game, maybe 2. You don't never know what happens. But they're like, again, not their fault. They're kind of a guaranteed sweep in the first round. If they get that 8 seed and play OKC, they're kind of a guaranteed sweep, I think.
Absolutely. I agree.
Now,
So who's at
do we go
17?
Bulls next? We got Bulls, we
We're
have
at
Hawks,
18?
we have Kings, and we have Magic
18.
as 3 of the candidates for this final 3 slots at the bottom tier. Currently, the Kings are the 9th seed out west. They are up and down, 4 and 6 in their last 10 games. Mostly down, but there's been some ups. They are obviously very talented. They added Zach LaVine, lost De'Aaron Fox, and they still have a good group of talent. The fit has been nightmarish. It's been kind of what the Bulls fans who looked around and said, wait a minute, they want to do LaVine and DeMar DeRozan again?
They think they us for real.
They like that? They want to try that again? It's kind of been
Why are you
what
jogging
they
my style?
expected.
Like, I've done this.
But they do
Swagger
have
jacket.
Sabonis. They
Exactly.
do have good ball handlers that can get hot in a play-in setting. I don't feel inclined to go them next. Do you?
No,
Maybe.
they're not next. I don't think they can be next. I think
Maybe.
they're
They're in
at
the
top end
conversation.
of this tier.
So
Nah.
Bulls or Hawks? Who's next? Who's the next worst
I'm
team?
thinking right now, me personally, I'm thinking Kings or Hawks at 18.
So you're not winning. Okay,
Really?
I mean, I appreciate the
like-
Bulls have been doing. I don't appreciate them that much.
I don't
Yeah.
like the Kings. I don't like what they put on
Me neither.
paper. And
But can they win
every-
a playing game though?
I truly think that they have just as much chance to win a playing game as a singular playing game as the Chicago Bulls.
Mm.
And now whether you want to say that happens because of just matchup, then like that's fair. But also, if we're talking about matchups, the Kings, whether they're playing like Minnesota or I don't know who's in the 8th spot at this moment. It always changes. But the 7 and 8 seed out west are much harder competition than 7 and 8 out east. So I actually think that it's harder for Sacramento to be a viable playoff team and get to the 7 or 8 and actually get there.
You're
So
right, but who's
that's-
just better
so
though
that's
right
what I'm
now?
like. Right now in this moment, I think it's equal, and I kind of like the Bulls a little bit more
Okay, so
in
what about the Hawks?
in this situation.
We're glossing past the Hawks. Who, Mo? Do you tell us what the Hawks? How do you feel about the current state of the Hawks going to the play-in tournament?
I feel good. Right now, they're the 8th seed as we speak. They could flip flop any day from now. I think it flip flop any day from now between the Chicago Bulls. But I do think they're better than the Bulls. I think we have more proven talent. We've been more of a complete product in terms of how we've been playing basketball over the last, I don't know, like
What does that
3-4
mean?
months or so. I feel like we're better than the Bulls. I think generally the Bulls should be right up next after the Dallas Mavericks. They're spending a lot of
Yeah,
time for no reason. Come on now.
Yeah, I'll go Bulls too. Oh shit, messed it up. Yeah, I'll go Bulls. The Hawks have been clicking offensively really well, and I think in a play-in tournament, if you enter a shootout, this is their stomping ground. They have the most play-in experience ever.
This is the greatest playing team
Trae
of all
Young
time.
does this
Come on
play-in
now.
shit. This is what he does. This is his stomping grounds. Next 2 teams, listen, we got the Hawks and we have the Kings. These are Mr. Play-in between Trae Young and DeMar DeRozan. They've been there every single year since its inception, I should say. And yeah, I think that's 16 and 17. I think these guys just have a better chance of winning at least one game.
We like the Kings more than the Hawks.
I don't fucking care.
I think I like the Hawks better than the Kings. I care. We could go ahead and switch that.
Thank you.
Why not?
With Sabonis back healthy now, I don't think I like the Hawks. I mean, the Hawks, they have worse competition, so I guess they have a better chance of getting out. But I don't think they're the better team, really. They've been clicking as of late offensively for sure, but the key, I don't know. Maybe I'm just
I think our
with the Kings
defense
pieces
makes
that
us a
haven't put
better
together.
team. Yeah, I think our defense makes us a better team. Now, again, neither is great. Maybe the Kings' defense actually might be better perimeter wise for some reason.
I was going to say, what are you talking about? The Hawks' defense is what inspires you? What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen, this is some of the best Hawks defense that I've seen in the entire Trae Young area. So of course it's inspiring to me, bro. 19th means something to me.
Yeah, listen, when Jalen Johnson was in those doors, I was moved. Right now it's 22nd in the last 15 games. Sure, we can go. If you guys really want to, we can go Hawks at 16.
There we go.
Won.
I'll save my arguing energy for things I care about later.
We won.
Now,
There we go.
how do you feel about the Orlando Magic? Right now, Paolo Banchero is playing like a god scoring wise for the last 20 games. He has been putting up. He's been dominating March basketball. He's getting to the rim. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. He's doing what we saw him do in those first 5 games that got us so excited, that made us rank him as a top 20 player. He's looking like that again. Still not the perfect player, still has some things to work on. The team still doesn't put him in the best situation to succeed and drive offense, but he is scoring extremely well right now. We know they're depleted. We know they don't have Jalen Suggs. We know that the juice isn't there to make a real run like we thought they could do when we were talking about oh my God, can this be the 4 seed early in the year? So now we're kind of in between, right? Where we're getting a good version of their best player, but the team, as shown, the formula isn't really ready for this year. What do we do with that?
I think that we still have to. I think we still have to put them probably around 15 or 14. On the high end, if you really believe that Paolo can just go crazy and carry this team and do what he was doing in the first round of last year, but not only just put up those numbers and keep them in games, but win those games, that's fine. They're also set up to get dusted by either playing if they win the play-in tournament and they win their first game, they have to go to Boston, and they have to play the Celtics. They're getting swept if that's the case. And then if they drop a game, now you have to play the best team in the conference all game. You're getting swept. I don't see a situation where they can get a game in the playoffs at this moment. But I do kind of I want to highlight Paolo and everything that he's doing, but they're still not a viable playoff team.
Yeah, they just have so many holes, right? Without Jalen Suggs, their guard room has no two-way players, right? Cole Anthony can do some driving things offensively, has a little bit of juice. Anthony Black, good defender. I almost said Jalen Suggs again. KCP, great defender, famously having a nightmare offensive season, though he's bounced back a little bit. None of these guys have offensive threats. I'm just naming guys that are good defenders. You have no threat from the 1. You have no threat from the 5, really. Shout out Goga Batazde, who I think is really good. They play not Willie Cauley-Stein. Why did I just say that? They play
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Willie Cauley-Stein. Why am I blanking on his name? Wendell Carter Jr. I got the acronyms mixed up. They play Wendell Carter Jr. a lot, who I am so disappointed in the last few years. Remember a couple years ago we did our center rankings?
He was up there.
We put him at 18 in the league for centers, and he just... I don't know what happened to him. I generally, maybe Magic's fans can tell us. I don't know what he's good at anymore. He just kind of is a guy. And they have
Seems
too
like
many,
he leveled out, bro.
they just have too many players that are just guys, no threats. That it's so impressive that Paolo is scoring the way he is right now with how just terrible their offense is. So I'm encouraged for them long term because Paolo looks good. I don't really have a silver lining for why they can make a run this year.
Exactly, and I think that's why they belong at 15. They're talent deficient. It's not necessarily their fault, but also at the same time, when I look at the front office, it's also your fault. And yeah, they're just cooked by a whole bunch of things on the roster, and there's no real pathway for them to be above another tier.
I hope Goku gets traded one day and he gets to start for someone because I feel like he has some juice waiting to be unlocked for full starter minutes.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah, no, he was. Even in the offseason, his name was being thrown around to go to some other teams and be their starter and stuff like that. He's solid, but I think if you look at the numbers, last 15 games, even with Paolo playing this well offensively, they're still outside the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to get you anywhere. And so I don't care how good the defense has been.
It's been number 1 the last 15 games. They're locking up right now,
and that's fine. You still, if at your best, right, and obviously you have injuries, but if at your best your number one scorer is scoring the ball and you are not in the top 20 in offense, that's very discouraging. That's very discouraging.
But they are 8th in net ratings. Like they are playing decent basketball right now. I don't know. It's hard to balance this where we have in our mind, we know that they have to go against the top 2 teams in the East, and we know we don't have no thoughts in our mind that they stand a chance there. So they might be better than one of the 2 of the teams left. Actually, I don't know if that's true because most of them are West teams left, but they are like pretty respectable as of late. Like being top 10 in net rating for 15 game sample size isn't nothing. It is a formula that can do something to have the best defense in the league right now, plus a 30-point per game scorer. But we just can't divorce ourselves from the fact they have to play the goddamn Celtics or the goddamn Cavs, and they don't stand a chance there.
Snap.
Yeah. Exactly.
So respect to the Magic. Respect to you guys getting it out of the mud, doing what you can with the state of your roster, but it's not looking good for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
now,
so we're putting Orlando at 15?
I think so.
yeah.
Gotcha.
They belong at 15. Now, I will say, if Franz Wagner was shooting the ball better, then I would feel a lot better about putting them maybe at like 12, 13, or somewhere in the middle of the pack. But that's just simply not happening over the last like 15 games, 14 games. He's shooting like 27% from 3. That's still not cutting it whatsoever.
And that's one of the biggest problems, right? We haven't gotten good Franz and elite Paolo at the same time. Like we just haven't seen the ability to make each other better. At this point, like early in the season, I felt like the biggest issue was Paolo on ball post injury was bad. The pace of play was bad. The playmaking, the passing was good, but the playmaking in terms of getting into the paint and making defenses rotate was bad. That's all better for Paolo now that he's healthy and the oblique injury is behind him, and you feel like he has a better rhythm going for him. But now Franz is playing terrible off ball. Like we just can't get both these guys clicking at the same time. And I know I said that a couple weeks ago. I said Franz is playing terrible off ball, and somebody commented, a Magic fan, I think his like YouTube name was like Franz Stan or something like that. And they're like, how can you say Franz is playing terrible right now? It's so dramatic. Off ball. He catch and shoot. He has not been a good off ball player. We know he can do with the ball in his hands, but if you can't perform next to Paolo as the guy, it's a long-term issue.
Exactly. And that's like, he'll have those issues for the entirety of his career. You just simply have to be able to shoot in order to make your life easier and everyone else's life easier.
But shout out Franz, man. I love Franz. I hope they can work with these two. But I know this is appropriate too, because the bottom 5, I feel like the Magic are a tier above this. I feel like they're defending so well as of late that they deserve to be the start of this next tier, despite also standing 0 chance of making a run. So I'm kind of happy that it broke this way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
So now we get to the interesting part, right? We got through the teams that don't really stand a chance. We have left the top 8 out west and the top 6 out east. These are the serious teams that can win a playoff series. Any team on this list can win a playoff series, right?
Yes.
Who do you feel the least confident in?
I feel the least confident in a team like either the Memphis Grizzlies or the Indiana Pacers. I'm willing to lean either way of those two. Or maybe even the
I feel
Clippers.
I feel pretty good about the Pacers, actually.
Okay. You feel confident in them.
I like the Pacers as well. I think it sounds like we're putting the Memphis Grizzlies at 14.
I guess so. It's kind of, to me, it's between them or the Timberwolves, who the Timberwolves have had some good play as of late in the second half of the season. Julius Randle looks a lot better. The spacing, Gobert's been scoring his ass off lately. Gobert's having one of the best scoring stretches of his last 3 years. He looked really good. They've adjusted the offense to having Gobert at the dunker spot and Randle being the main screen setter in the half court, and it's worked really well. But they've had some games where they look really good, and then some games where they blow a 30-point lead to the goddamn Bucks, and Kevin Porter Jr. has a masterclass. They're still up and down. The ups are a lot better now, but again, this Western Conference is absurd. There's 8 teams that can win a playoff series, legitimately. Somebody has to draw the short straw, and I don't know if I think it's a given that the Grizzlies are just completely cooked. I understand the coaching issue and the defense issue that kind of led to that coaching issue, and every reason why they're trending in the wrong direction. I still don't think they were a top 3 seed for a long time for a reason. I don't think the Timberwolves are like a tier above them.
No, they're not a tier above them, which is why we're gonna we can put them back to back if you feel like that. But I do think that Memphis should be right there at the bottom of this list just because of one, and we've talked about it all year, the availability of Ja Morant. 2, everything that has happened over the last week that led to, you don't just fire your coach
for no reason.
for no reason. And if Ja Morant was Nikola Jokic, then maybe we'd be having different conversations, and we're going to talk about the Nuggets coming soon. But the Grizzlies, they have a lot of uncertainty around them, and I don't feel good about them. And if you talk about like the top 4 in the West, it's like, do I think that the Grizzlies can beat the Thunder? No. Do I think they could beat the Lakers? No. Do I think
Absolutely not.
Do I think that they can beat the Rockets? That's the only one that I have any type of faith in. But even at that point, like that's just because I don't think that Houston can score in.
Does this move you? John Morant, last 10 games, 30 points per game, 7.2 assists, 62% true shooting, turning the ball over less, 2.9 a game. He's shooting well from 3, 37%. He looks a lot better in rhythm, especially shooting these off the dribble threes. I've been really impressed with. I don't have this on here.
He's taking 7 threes a game as well, bro. This is a different John Morant.
I didn't even see that. That's crazy. And yeah, obviously the pick and roll percentage is up post Taylor Jenkins. Zach Edey's looking pretty fucking good now that he's actually getting to run pick and rolls and be involved in the offense. Who would have thought? He looks like one of the best rebounders in the league. Who would have thought? Seems like he's a real good player with some skills despite the weaknesses. Who would have thought if we actually use him? I feel like despite the turmoil, they don't look horrendous right now. There is silver linings from the changes they made.
That's fine. I still don't. There's still 2 teams minimum that I don't think that they can beat in a series right now, and that is OKC and the Lakers. I don't think that they're beating them.
They're currently the 6th seed, so they might play the Lakers 3 right now.
That
if it sticks, but it's gonna come down to the last couple of games.
Yeah,
these teams are all tied right now.
But like, do the Clippers? I don't think I like Memphis more than what the Clippers are doing right now. I just think that like
I can understand you on that. The Clippers are a lot more stable and consistent. I do trust.
I haven't said their name for a reason. I'm not considering them right here. I know
you're not, and so that's what I'm saying. Like when you go down, and if we do this exercise for every team, I think that the Grizzlies have the least amount of outcomes that you feel confident end up going their way, and that's why I would put them at 14.
Mo, Grizzlies or Timberwolves? Who's 14?
Grizzlies or Timberwolves? I'm leaning towards the Grizzlies for sure.
All right. Listen, John. Whenever you come out and prove everybody wrong, just know I noticed. I was on this side.
Stay on that side.
Yeah.
I was on this side.
It's a madman.
I was on this side. Okay, so do we feel good about Timberwolves going next at 13? Are you guys on my side there? Or are you looking at the Warriors? Are you looking at the Clippers?
I think we need to introduce... How do you guys feel about the Milwaukee Bucks?
Oh, okay, Bucks and Pistons. You're right.
They're kind of scary right now. Their front line is very bleak. No Chris Middleton anymore, of course, because you got traded. You got the Kyle Kuzmas of the world, Brook Lopez. And
they're 6-4 in the last 10.
Yeah, and Giannis is playing out of his goddamn mind.
They should be 5-5.
But in the way that he's doing it, feels so. You said they'd be 5-5.
That Timberwolves game was disgusting. I can't believe that they won that.
Okay, so the Bucks are interesting. They're 6-4 in the last 10. They beat the living shit out of 4 straight wins against 4 straight bad non-playoff teams. Yeah. So it's a cookie. What? Why did I just blank? What was I gonna say?
What?
I think I was gonna say Mickey Mouse, and I said Cookie Monster.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
It's a Mickey Mouse schedule to some extent, so I'm not putting that much stock in those wins, but they are stringing together good performances. Listen to that comeback game. Kevin Porter Jr. had a great stat line.
I don't want to hear about no goddamn Kevin Porter Jr.
neither.
Brother. Please stop.
But they're gonna need him to do something with Dame out, and I guess he's fucking gonna keep shooting really well and taking advantage of the opportunity he's gotten.
We're talking about Kevin Porter Jr. in a playoff series. I'm not allowing us to do that.
But how much does Giannis carry this though? Because Giannis is playing amazing basketball, offensively especially. How much does that carry you past it to Guy? I mean, I say this, but the other side is Anthony Edwards, who's also amazing. So I don't know. Do you guys feel better about the Pistons and the Bucks right now for sure?
Yeah.
I feel much better about the Pistons for sure because they're more complete. And when it comes to playoffs, I don't know why. It sounds so crazy to say this in the year of 2025, but I trust the Cades, the Malik Beasleys, and just a complete collection of people on this team to upset someone in the first round or proceed to the first round than the Milwaukee Bucks because they got the most... Dude, their roster is so finicky right now. Like, who's starting for them at the point guard position? His last name's like Rons. I forget his first name, but it's looking really bleak right now. And I don't trust a lick of those guys. Kyle Kuzma is the second option on offense. I do not trust that whatsoever.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins, Taurean Prince, and Kyle Kuzma in your starting lineup. and Dame might come back. It's still in the air that they say he's recovering, and I guess it comes down to how his body handles the blood thinners and if he can come back on time. If he comes back, obviously we feel differently. But without Dame, I don't think any of us expect them to make a run of any sort. I don't know if I expect them to beat the Pacers in the first round without Dame. That seems like a tall fucking task, despite how great Giannis is. I guess we can go the Bucks here just because they're disqualified with injury.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath.
Which
on
actually,
a
now I
Dame
think about it, I
comeback.
think we should put the Grizzlies above the Bucks for that reason.
I am completely okay with that. Shout out to Bobby
Yeah.
Portis. He's back, but he's not enough to go ahead and like sway my opinion whatsoever.
Well, Bobby Portis was straight up bad to start the season, so he needs to not one be enough, but also prove that he's going to be impactful and like play better because the start of the season was rough for
He
Bobby.
said, stay away.
Okay, so we go Bucks at 14, Grizzlies at 13. Now it's really hard. My first thought next is if we're going to choose to believe the Timberwolves are the good version of Timberwolves, that we're going to get a good version of Julius Randle playing within this new spacing system, and we don't think he's going to be a tyrant taking over the offense like he did in some of those playoff meltdowns for the Knicks. We all think Anthony Edwards is the best shooting guard in the league, playing like a true top 10 superstar, right?
Tyrant's ridiculous.
We like what Julius Randle is doing right now. We choose to believe his skills are going to be captured in a effective way and utilized well. Gobert's playing really well again. Defensively, they're top 10 for the whole season. As of late, I'm sure it's also really high. We did come up here and praise Jaden McDaniels for being back. He's proceeded to go away again. And he's
God damn it.
super up and down. Super up and down.
He's
We'll see
averaging
what
like
happens
12
there.
points again, bro. My goddamn propaganda's cooked.
I know. If we're being positive, which I don't mind being for them, I think they're better than the Pistons.
I agree. I think the Pistons are right up next in this line of names.
Yeah, and I respect the hell of the Pistons. I'm really curious what Cade looks like in the playoff series. If you tell me he's this guy that like,
He's gonna look fine.
if you tell me he's the guy that like elevates and takes over and his game transits perfectly in late game situations, he can get to his own shots and continue to be effective against high level defenses and like change this equation to where they should be higher. I wouldn't be too surprised. But I also don't want to gas the roster up too much. You know, it's really impressive what they've done. They still are relatively light in talent. The defense has been great. Second half of the year, the shooting has been great, obviously, with Malik Beasley in them.
That's true.
I probably feel better about the high-end talent on the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I think I'm letting the overall just like
Tone.
the tone and the vibes of the Pistons probably cloud my judgment a little bit just because they are closer to their 100% than a lot of other teams are.
Yeah.
And so like that in itself is good, but then also when you look at other teams and how good they are at their best and at their 100%, they are better than the Pistons. So all right, so we'll go Detroit and then we'll go Minnesota.
Like I'm not sure.
Wait, do we
Pistons are
feel
better
good
than the
about
Grizzlies.
the Grizzlies? Yeah, I was about to say that. Do we need?
I
I
think-
think we need
no.
to slide back the. Look at us respecting the Grizzlies a little bit more.
I try to tell y'all, man. They shout out the Grizzlies. I think they're better than the Pistons.
This may be where I don't. Am I drawing the line right here? Personally, do I like the Pistons more than I like the Grizzlies?
Eastern Conference tax. Keep in mind, the Grizzlies have been.
That's fair. Listen,
If the Grizzlies were in the East, they would be the 3 seed.
hey man,
Actually, let me see. I
It's
said
not.
that. As,
Listen, it's not my fault. They got to pay these.
I said that
tariffs.
as a joke, but let me see what the actual standing wise. What would they be? Currently, the Grizzlies
I think
are
that'd be 4.
the 47 and 32. So that would be 1 game behind the Pacers. So they'd be the 5th seed, but they would be 1 game behind the Pacers, or is that half a game?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they'd be in that mix for the 4 seed, actually, not 3rd. I shout out the Knicks. I disrespected them.
They'd
for a
still
second.
be so much fucking better. We get it.
Yeah. So, but they'd also have an easier schedule, so maybe they would also be higher at that rate. But record-wise, they'd be 4th or 5th right now in the East, above the Pistons. So if you're doing that 1-to-1, what you've shown us in the regular season, but I guess I understand if you feel so badly about the Grizzlies' trajectory that you're just like
I
want to
just-
ride towards the other side.
Listen, I don't feel comfortable putting teams that have a lot of turmoil, that choose to have turmoil, 10 games before the playoffs. It doesn't feel.
Now they
it
did
doesn't-
also
it doesn't
lose
feel-
Jalen Wells as well.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. Yeah, he broke his wrist
Tough.
as well as the head stuff that was scary. He broke his wrist, so he's out for some weeks for that alone.
Yeah.
Probably the whole playoff run, I'm sure.
He gonna be hooping with a cast.
I'm
I'm
okay
still gonna-
respecting them over the Pistons just
Yeah.
because they still have Jaren Jackson. John Morant is back. We've seen what John Morant does in the playoff series. And the big man rotation outside of Jaren is a little iffy with Brandon Clark gone. We'll see if Zach Edey can stand up to playoff defense. I don't know. We'll find out. But there's enough holes that if Mo decided to go on Donovan's side and pick the Pistons over them because of Jalen Wells being gone, I'd respect it. But I feel a little bit better about the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'm gonna rely on the stardom and experience of Jaren, and Desmond Bain over the Pistons.
This guy does not respect the thug shake enough.
I don't thug shape every morning
practicing
like you do, brother. All right.
You said that you practice in the mirror much more than I did.
I did it one time, maybe twice.
I think the Pistons have one of the most interesting players to watch in this playoff run because the first round, it's pretty much set in stone. They're going to play the Knicks, right? Jalen Duren, what are you prepared to do about the Karl-Anthony Towns pick and pop game? Are you going to prove us wrong? Are you going to defend the best you've ever defended in your life? Are you going to look like early season Jalen Duren where you look a little lost and they really pick on you? I don't know. He's looked good as of late, especially as a scorer. If you tell me that he comes out and really, really surprises us and dominates that matchup physically and shows that he is the running mate to pair with Cade long term, I can imagine it, but that's a big question mark for me. Playoff defense as a center is tough.
What is he going to do with the second best offensive center in the league, Karl-Anthony Towns? Listen, it's playoff time. I'm bought in. I'm
and
back
Jalen
in.
Brunson especially. Jalen Brunson loves to attack slow bigs.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to get into their body,
Yes.
draw fouls. That's going to be a tough matchup. And, he has Asar Thompson. He has a good defensive infrastructure around him. Cade's playing good defensively. It's not going to be him getting picked on every time. I'm sure they'll do a lot, and they'll put him in positions that he's not getting in a lot of one-on-one situations with Brunson. But you can't avoid it entirely. You're going to have
The
to
Knicks are
perform.
going to try. They're going to do it. So you know what? Fine. You guys already decided that like Memphis is going to go above Detroit, but like, fine, we'll do that.
Okay, well, who's the last team in this tier that you feel like isn't in the top 4 tiers that we need to loop in with these teams that are playoff teams and are respectable, but these are teams we all don't really feel like have the juice to make a run for real? Who falls into that last one?
The Clippers naturally should probably fall on this last spot.
Oh, disagree.
Feel disrespectful saying that, but also at the same time too, I'm like, am I thinking about the the fact that they have to go through the teams that they have to go through in the West? I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Man,
I'm stuck. I'm stuck between 3 teams right now. I'm stuck between the Clippers, the Timberwolves, and the Pacers. For the Clippers, I'm stuck because obviously you have the massive Kawhi factor of like, is he going to be able to hold up for 2 playoff rounds, let alone 3 or 4?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it. The Timberwolves, what we saw the other night, like that is worst case scenario. And so like you still have questions about Minnesota and their offense and some of the playmaking stuff, because for like you have Mike Conley there to be like the vet point guard to settle the troops and run all this offense. If he's out there, right, and at his advanced age and everything that he's been,
Advanced age.
right, and every day, and like
what a
the way,
sophisticated way to call someone old as fuck.
I'm just saying, if he's out there and he's not going to be doing the veteran point guard, I'm leading the troops, I'm setting everything up against a regular zone and you guys fall apart, that actually was very, very concerning for me. So I have those questions, and especially about Ant and his playmaking in the playoff context, and Randall. He's a good playmaker, but also when you start to load up on people, I'm kind of nervous about that. And then there's the Pacers, which is they are really good, but at the end of the day, they're Pacers. They're a solid team. I don't know if they're going to be able to make a massive run in the playoffs. Those are the 3 teams that I'm currently deciding upon.
These teams are a good case study in, are we going to give teams credit for their ceiling or evaluate their floor or evaluate where we think they're realistically going to fall in between those 3 things? Because I think the Timberwolves are an incredibly high ceiling team.
I agree.
We saw this nucleus plus Cat minus Randall be in the conference finals last year, right? This team, we've seen them, the formula works in playoff settings against good teams. Obviously, it looks different now without Cat, without the true 2-big lineup and inserting Julius Randle and whatnot. But Gobert, Anthony Edwards ball on both sides of the ball, we've seen what that can be. And we've seen it in stretches over the last 20 games in which it really clicks with Randle and they beat the shit out of the Denver Nuggets. They own the Denver Nuggets. Every other team is up and down. But we've seen them destroy one team over and over again. So we know they have the capabilities of dealing with top-tier offenses. The Pacers, on the other hand, highest floor here. One of the highest floors outside of the top 3 teams, I think. With Tyrese Haliburton playing the way he plays, leading offense, playmaking the way he is, with the just unpredictable frenetic style he runs with, the pace he brings to the team, and kind of allows everybody else to be better. Siakam's had a great year. We know we all like Nembhard, we all like Benedict Mathurin, we all like Nesmith, we all like this array of wings they have. That sounds to me like a high floor team. So it's kind of the opposite of the Timberwolves. And the Clippers are kind of a mix of both, I think. So I kind of feel inclined to go the Clippers the highest of these 3 teams. Just because while Kawhi is there, With that elite defense, Zubac is one of the best centers in the league now. James Harden's elite playmaker. Kawhi's looking a little Kawhi-like lately. That feels like a good mix of floor and ceiling to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to just lock in and go straight like algebra 1 absolute value, and not factor in the injury stuff right now. Even though that we're gonna look in 2.5 weeks. And we're gonna get the tweet from Sham saying
You never know.
saying
Yeah, you
that,
never know.
that he's not gonna play. But I will say I will lock in. I'll do that. We'll put the Clippers at the top of these 3, and then I guess at that point now it's Minnesota versus Indiana.
I don't know,
who do you
man.
feel better about? Who do you feel better about between those two, Mo? I don't know.
Between those 3, earlier I said I'd put the Clippers naturally in that next spot,
You lost
but
that
I
one.
said again.
You lost that one. We're both going Clippers high. So you decide Pacers versus Timberwolves.
Exactly.
It's all up to you
Yeah,
alone.
exactly. Yeah. So, like I was saying, like I initially wanted the Clippers. I reverted. I changed my mind already. And between the T-Wolves and Pacers, I'm going to lean towards the Pacers just because
Being better.
they've been playing fantastic. They're
Okay.
Okay.
yeah. They belong at that last tier.
Oh, wait, no. So are you saying the Pacers are the last tier or the next tier? Are you saying
last
they're
tier.
11 or 12?
They're 12.
They're
Gotcha.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
confusing as fuck. My brain got fried. Okay, so
Yeah,
we're going
I was-
Pacers 12, or Pacers 11, Timberwolves 10, Clippers 9. Interesting.
I feel good about this. Wait,
Me
do
too.
I feel good about the Clippers being better than the T-Wolves though?
I
I
feel-
don't know if
I
that's
feel
right.
pretty good about that. Again,
Why?
If you
with
don't
the caveat,
if you don't factor in injury, yes, the Clippers are better than the Timberwolves.
So right now, if the playoffs started, it'd be Nuggets versus Clippers. I feel kind of good about the Clippers' ability to win that series. Having Zubac, he's legitimately one of the best interior defenders of the year. Amazing rebounder, amazing cleanup man in drop coverage. Been fantastic offensively too. We know what he can do in the post. It's a rare breed of player that doesn't exist anymore, but he loves
He's
him some
probably
hook
the
shots.
most underrated player in the NBA.
Probably. We know what he can bring. We know what they have defensively with guys like Chris Dunn and guys like Derrick Jones Jr. at the point of attack that can give Jamal Murray some issues and really try to. Chris Dunn is very good at fighting around screens. So if you can blow up the handoff game and blow up the 2-man actions of Jamal Murray and Jokic and really force Jokic to beat you as a one-on-one scorer like he has been as of late, Zubac is a decent defender to help do his best against the best scoring center in the league. I feel kind of good about them being able to clamp up enough defensively and Kawhi being able to torture Christian Brown, Jalen Pickett, all these guys that I'm not sure yet. Give me another week to think about it. But I might pick the Clippers to beat the Nuggets.
But that's just talking about the scope of like specifically the Nuggets. I feel like I can say similar things when it comes to the T-Wolves because it feels like they have the Nuggets number, like you mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
I'm more so thinking about like league scope wise or whatever. And I don't know if I feel good about someone like James Harden on a night to night basis because so one night he's going to go ahead and give you like
Fair
he's
enough.
going to give you 30, 33, and another night he's going to shoot 16% from the field, and he's going to look like Tyus Jones out there on the court sometimes, or at least when
Sure.
it really matters the most. So
They're winning games. So I would understand that if they were winning games because he was having an out-of-body efficient year. They're
Mhm.
not winning games because of that, you know? It's baked into their strategy that James Harden is going to have to be a volume shooter more than he's comfortable with. That's going to lead to some poor efficiency. They're winning despite that. They're winning with defense. They're a top defense in the league. They have been all year. And with Kawhi back, they have him who has been not
I know.
100% Kawhi as of late, but he's had flashes, right? He's looking more and more
Yes.
comfortable as time goes on. So if I feel like we can give him credit that he's gonna, ramp up a little bit in the playoffs, right? That he's gonna have some real star quality games. It's kind of okay if James Harden isn't a super reliable scorer, I think.
But and
at the end of the day,
I
though,
completely
like,
forgot about that, Mo. I'm honestly glad that you brought that up.
I hate that I said that.
Yeah.
I hate that I said that point, Isaac. Actually. I hate it so much now.
Because you went low, and understand I'm about to go lower
Yeah, I hate that.
because I can only look past one fault. If I'm looking past the Kawhi injury, I can't look past the James Harden stuff, and that is a real thing. I did not want to mess this up, right?
All right, well, if we're going to remind Donovan of his biases, Rudy Gobert plays for the goddamn Timberwolves. Julius Randle plays for the goddamn Timberwolves.
He was hurt. He was hurt. But mind you, understand that in a series where James Harden scored, in a 7-game series where James Harden scored 40 points twice, he averaged 22 points. Like, the drop off that he has in some playoff games is very, very real. And so I think having those two caveats, like we might have to put Minnesota above that.
I get why you're saying that, but it's apples to oranges in terms of team construction. Like this is the least. I'm not say that because they are very reliant on James still, but it's the least reliant on his scoring. We keep talking about the scoring, and James Harden's scoring is very secondary to how this team is going to win games and potentially win a series. Like they're very insulated for James Harden stinkers. It's okay. It's almost expected. It doesn't matter. Like he's been very good this year despite being inefficient all year.
There's always another level. There is.
I get it.
There's that aspect of it. And
we're not talking about the most trustworthy offense in the goddamn world.
No,
it's
not. But I do think that if I'm gonna look past the injury stuff, I do think that Kawhi is enough to overcome James Harden playoff performances. So that in itself does have to count for something. And as crazy as the Western Conference is, it's absolutely wild.
And Ty Lue and the defense.
Exactly. It's wild that we sit here today and the Clippers are like going to be in the 4 or 5.
I like the Clippers, man. I like them a lot. I hope they win a series. I really like the basketball they're playing.
We have to go Clippers at the top of that tier. So I do think that right now we have the right order of the trio.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I love the Clippers. I love the Clippers so much, but also at the same time too. Okay. Over the last 15 games, they've been number 1 in defense or number 2? Number 2 in defense. So the Orlando Magic number 1. You said that earlier, Isaac.
Yep.
But through that number 1, I dove
look at their offense.
The stats.
Check the offense.
Yes, but also on top of checking the offense,
everything.
Check who they've beaten through those last 15 games as well. Not their fault. They got to play the teams in front of them. Mavs, Spurs, New Orleans, Orlando, the Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks without Jalen Brunson, Memphis Grizzlies through all the turmoil that they've been through, Hawks, Hornets, Miami, New Orleans, King. It's disgusting. We know the story here.
I understand. And if they had a regular solid stat line, I would be with you. But they're 13-2 and had the best net rating in the NBA for that stretch. Like they didn't just beat them; they dominated them. Which that is what you got to look for is the margin. And of course, they're expected to win. They're not necessarily expected to beat the living shit out of all these teams, and they have.
I don't know.
I mean, you did name some teams that they should beat.
I didn't even know what I'm saying. You're supposed to beat the living shit out of these
for sure,
teams.
but you know what I'm saying. They had the number 1 net rating. That's like
it's
not
inflated though. It's inflated.
Well, yeah. I'm not putting them 1 on this list. Like we're not necessarily putting them high. They're number 9.
I don't know. I trust the 4 of the Timberwolves. Me personally, I trust the 4 of the Timberwolves.
I'm not sure their floor is better. I mean, like, again, the Clippers. It's not just the last 15 games. They've been a top 4 defense all season. Like, we're not talking enough about that. We're focusing on the offensive stuff. They are a truly elite defense, led by one of the best coaches in the NBA, who has shown time in and time out he's, but maybe the best in the NBA besides Eric Spoelstra at matchup-dependent coaching, at instilling good defensive schemes to slow down exactly what you want to do offensively. Ty Lue is one of the best adjusters in the league. If you give him a healthy team and you give him enough offensive punch and the defensive infrastructure is healthy,
so
I feel better about the floor of that.
What I will say is that I think something that supersedes the Clippers for the Minnesota Timberwolves is the ability of Anthony Edwards to just turn into fucking God, and then also the defense sustaining to a certain level as well. Now they haven't been as good as the Clippers defensively all year long, but they're not like far off whatsoever as well.
They're 6th for the year. They're also pretty high. So I see your point.
So I'm like, I think Anthony Edwards supersedes everything that the Clippers have been doing for me personally.
Yeah, I won't be shocked if you're right. If you just said Ant ascends and has that type of series where he like is a difference, that wouldn't be shocking. I could see that.
All right, I think we're settled. Who the fuck is next?
Now it's hard. Who goes at 7 and 8? We know the top teams out there. Now we have to disrespect somebody to put them a tier below. My first thought: New York Knicks. Knicks.
Sorry.
So the Knicks might have to be 8. I think it is what it is.
I actually disagree that they have to be next.
Oh wait, never mind. I didn't see. Okay, so it's them or the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are 7 and 8.
Thank you.
My bad. I didn't see them for a second. That's the next debate. I think Nuggets are for sure 7 and 8.
Right now. I was trying to say this with Memphis. I feel it even more with the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are a walking lick right now.
Yo, they're absolutely a walking lick. Yeah, I'm cool with Nuggets 8 actually.
Really?
Shout out to Jokic. He is going to be amazing. Everybody else in that locker room is a question mark.
Bro, we got headlines coming out today, a couple days after the firing, in which they are airing this fucking drama out. There's a full media smear right now to say Russell Westbrook's the problem. Not necessarily, but Mike Malone's treatment of Russell Westbrook was the problem. There's headlines that some people within that locker room didn't like that he got the special treatment and lack of tough love that Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray already got. They said those two, I understand. Looping in Russ with that and treating him with kid gloves is too much to tolerate. Drama. These motherfuckers are whispering behind each other's back. We'll see if Adelman instills confidence in the defense, but their defensive talent is bad. I don't feel good about them at all, purely off of like a Bill Simmons like vibes rating type of feel right now.
Exactly. No, I don't feel good. I don't feel good.
And also, I don't feel good about the X's and O's. Their defensive talent is trash. They've had games where Jokic had a 60-point triple-double and they lost. And that wasn't a rare occurrence. He's had numerous outlandish stat lines in which they lose because they cannot keep up defensively. The offense is a little bit less potent than it once was. The defense is a lot less potent than it once was. Everything that made them special looks more and more regular as the days go on.
And in that 60-point triple-double, one of the key things that we cannot lose sight of was that Jamal Murray was hurt. Right,
Yeah.
Jamal Murray has been dealing with injury issues, and so going into the playoffs, him not being at 100%, everything, whether it's been from the start of the year, middle of the year, now, everything that we talk about with the Nuggets is they are going to be as good as Jamal Murray allows them to be, because obviously Jokic is going to be great and he's going to get you to a floor, but to get back to that championship ceiling, get back to that Western Conference Finals appearance ceiling, Jamal Murray and Jokic have to be going and clicking at the same time, and we haven't necessarily seen that. So you have questions about him. You have questions about the defense. You have questions about the coach. You have questions about the vibes. I don't like what they are putting on paper or on the floor right now. They have to be the next team.
Yeah, I want to hear
agree with
your
you
argument.
guys.
You agree?
I don't really have an
wanted to
argument.
hear. I want to hear a pro Nuggets argument from somebody, but it's not possible.
Yeah, no, it's not possible whatsoever, bro. Like, the only pro Nuggets thing that I could say is like, yo, Nikola Jokic is king vamping this bitch right now. Did you guys hear the last quote that he had during a press conference? He said, the beast is most dangerous when it's vulnerable. Oh my God, that's so tough. Yo.
I might have to get back in. I might have to jump back on the bandwagon. He's dropping bars like that.
Brother. He got me sweating in this bitch.
I understand that he had a good game last night. They started Jalen Pickett.
Hey, he played well. He had 18 points, I think.
Yeah.
Again, I understand.
He made jump shots.
In a playoff series.
Well, that's because Jamal Murray was hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, even just
that's
like the
my
talent-wise, the talent is not strong. Like,
Yeah.
we talked about at length how it's deteriorated post-KCP. But Daron Holmes not being able to play this year and hoping they trade up for him, hoping he could be that talent injection that makes up for it. With that gone, they just are simply worse than last year, and it shows.
God, he's gone. Yeah, he tore his ACL like literally like a month after he got drafted. That's so fucking bad, bro.
It's very unfortunate. Like, he's such a butterfly effect of what could have been if he would have stayed healthy. But now they don't have a good big man room outside of Jokic. I mean, if you want to count Aaron Gordon as big man, he's great, obviously. But the bench bigs are not good. They're wasting money on Dario Saric, wasting money on Zeke Naji, wasting money on several other players that we don't got to go down the line because it's a bunch of not nice things to say. They have their starters, which are good, counting Christian Brown. Who off the bench do you feel good about in the playoff series?
This is me saying nobody.
Nah,
Damn.
whatever.
Yeah, I think we're all sold on the Denver Nuggets here. We're aligned, sadly.
Hey, low key, I might put the Clippers above the Denver Nuggets. I might have to revisit this because I'm talking myself into it. These guys suck. I don't like them.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. It's there. You know what? Now let's have the conversation right now.
Yeah, why?
It's definitely up for discussion.
In terms of momentum,
Should we put the Memphis Grizzlies? I mean, the Minnesota Timberwolves above the goddamn Nuggets right now?
the Memphis Grizzlies has go 5 spots back.
The Grizzlies going to end up as the top 6 at the end of this.
So like we have to balance like not overreacting too much because it's just a coach in the day. Like they still have the same players. So
But why did the coach get fired?
because the players suck.
Because they were already slipping. They were already in a downward spiral. So even like, yes, Malone's firing is something that we shouldn't overreact to, but it was a it was a product of what was going on. So I don't think it's overreaction if we keep having the Nuggets slide, because we're just saying everything that you guys have been doing for the last 20, 25 games in a playoff series where it's even more highlighted. Yeah, that's going to come to fruition. So let's do it. Let's put the Clippers at 7 above them.
Okay.
I agree.
What about the T-Wolves?
No, I definitely think we should put the T-Wolves higher because as
Let's
of
do
late,
it. Let's do it.
the T-Wolves are technically trending better than the Denver Nuggets right now. We have to remain consistent.
All right, whatever. It also just comes down to health too. Like Jamal Murray has playoff Jamal Murray and all this changes, but we'll see if he's healthy. It's not great that he's missing games right now. I don't think it's the most serious issue in the world. They're probably prepping him to be available for the playoffs, but I don't feel good about betting on them turning it up out of nowhere. And I think post Warriors and Cavs for those 4 years when they're in the finals every year, especially because of the Cavs, especially because of LeBron, people kind of convince themselves that championship caliber teams can turn it on out of nowhere. They can stroll through the regular season and flip a switch because the Cavs did it in 2017 and went from like the 20th best defense to top 10, right? So there's the idea in people's heads that that's what championship teams do. No, that's what the LeBron James Cleveland Cavaliers did. Nobody else can fucking do that. That's not a regular occurrence you should expect. You shouldn't just assume teams can do that because they've been there before. More times than not, teams are who they are. And this team you saw for 82 games, probably the team you're going to see for the next 16. I'm going to choose to believe the Nuggets are who they tell us they are. And that is the 10th best team in the playoffs.
Pain,
cool
man. I'm cool with that too.
So the Knicks round us out at number 7. That feels pretty safe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the.
So you could go. Okay, so I guess now we have the Warriors discussion because the Warriors are in the same mix of these other Western Conference teams.
Oh, no, that's actually not where I was going.
He wanted to go to the Houston Rockets. We all know this.
I know he did. We have to have the Warriors discussion. We have to have the Knicks discussion. And if you guys want to loop the Rockets in, we can. But I'm going to tell you right now, I will argue with to death. I have grown quite a fondness in my heart for the Houston Rockets over the last month.
The Turks got to him.
Oh, yeah, fuck the Turks. But, I mean, early this season, I was telling us we should respect the Rockets because... So we kind of go back and forth. Our first power rankings, I was saying, respect the Rockets. They're winning games. And you guys were like, yeah, it's fake. And I was like, bro, who cares? They're winning games. We got to respect it. By the time we got to the second one, everyone kind of realized that they're a really good team. The half-court offense is ass. And we know that playoff basketball, while it is still basketball, it is still NBA, there's some differences. And notably, half-court offense matters a lot more because transition is not easy to eliminate. But if you're locking in for a playoff series, when people say things slow down, it typically means teams are pretty capable of stopping transition attacks for the most part. You have to be able to attack in the half court, and the Rockets can't do that, right? Or I should say, that's not their strength. It's quite a weakness compared to other teams of their caliber. At this point, they've won so many games. You're not the 2 seed by fucking accident. They are a truly dominant defense, truly dominant transition attack, truly dominant offensive rebounding attack. They're so physical. They're so good at what they are. They know their identity so well, have so many quirks. I think this is just a great team that different tier to me than the Knicks. They're real. They're not going to win the finals. I'm not coming up here and saying that. If you tell me the Rockets are in the conference finals, I won't be even a little bit shocked. I'm not going to predict it. I'm going to predict the Thunder and the Lakers to beat them and make the conference finals. But if you tell me the Rockets can beat the Lakers and it happens, I won't be bewildered. It's very, very possible.
I definitely would be shocked. If that outcome was to happen. But for the sake of this conversation, I do believe the Knicks belong in this last place over here.
Why?
It's just some of the basic common things that we've been talking about. Jalen Brunson is back, and I have no worries about him. I'm just going to leave it at that. And OG Anunoby has been playing the best basketball fucking of his goddamn life over the last, 15, 20 games or whatever it is.
Putting on the show.
Yeah.
Shout out Sunny Lee. I hope he's
That's what I'm saying. He hit the theme music. He's going crazy.
Yo,
oh my!
Anthony,
360 step back threes. I have no idea what's got.
OG Anunoby or Anthony Edwards. What's going on right now, brother?
I hope he has Olympians of a certain ilk at the sidelines every game.
She needs to sit next to Spike Lee every game.
But the obvious is the obvious, and there's no avoiding that for the New York Knicks. I did see some interesting things over the last game. I believe they played the Boston Celtics. We saw eventually what happened, and it was encouraging, most definitely, I would say, compared to all the other matchups that they've had against the Celtics. And that's kind of how I gauge them when it comes to like level of seriousness of contender, because that is like probably the team to beat out in the East, considered they were the champions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I like them. I love what they've been doing, but I quite easily see them like reverting back to habits that hindered them and what's been stopping them from being like the elite.
I like
of
the Knicks a
in
lot.
the East.
I like them
too.
a lot. These 7 teams are the serious teams to me. These are the teams that one of these 7 will probably be or 4 of these 7 will probably be in the conference finals. The 5 or so below them are like punch or chance. You can get there. We can't write you off. But these 7 teams are the teams in the NBA, I think. And obviously there's another tier above this for the 3 of them. But I do not feel like the Knicks are super far below these guys. But if I'm going to leave one in the tier below and leave them in tier 4, I'm going to go to the Knicks just because the reality is who you got to beat to get out of your conference. And we know that the Knicks match up well with a lot of teams. Those guys in green are not one of those teams they match up well with. We understand the limitations they have with their 1-5 combination defensively, and their strengths are incredibly high and can carry them. The offense might be ridiculously hard to stop in a playoff setting if we get anything close to what we got from Jalen Brunson last year. If we get that same type of performance from him with 5-out spacing now and Karl-Anthony Towns attacking off those actions, they're going to be a tough out for 99% of teams except the Boston Celtics. So simply because of that, I'm willing to put them a little bit lower. And you can say the same thing for the Rockets and the Thunder, I guess. But I think I just think the matchup-wise stuff, the gulf is pretty big between the Knicks and the Celtics.
I will concede this only if the Rockets are the very next team.
I can't promise you that. But we'll talk about it.
Then I can't concede this.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to be blind.
Because I will say the last game against the Celtics, that was the second most demoralizing loss of the year. The first game, that one hurt because I was very, very
Well, we know.
exactly
There's video proof.
exactly. I was very, very hurt by that one.
Sad D.
But this last game hurt even more just because Jaylen Brown wasn't even hooping like that. He barely even played towards the end of the game. Like it was really Jason Tatum and Kristaps and Derek White, and his timely threes were fantastic. But like Jaylen Brown wasn't a factor like that in this game, especially down the stretch. And they just couldn't get it. And they were in control of this game, and they couldn't close the deal. And so if you're making the argument who you have to beat to get there, okay, fine. We'll put the Knicks at 7.
That's not the best argument because you also can say that about the Thunder. So that's not my only argument.
Well, no, but I'm saying to make a deep playoff run and to get to the conference finals, the Rockets are going to be the 2 seed. They would have to play OKC.
Oh, you're saying they will have to see them in the second round?
Yeah,
The Knicks.
yeah. So like because if it was Knicks Celtics in the conference finals, then I think I really would have a problem, and I think I would pick the Knicks over it. But you are correct. So yes, we'll put the Knicks here. But I do think that the Warriors should be over the Rockets.
All right, well, let's talk about it now. So if we're go, you go with that, Mo? 7, we go with the Knicks?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. We're moving on to our top 6 teams. The best teams in the NBA, the top 3 tiers. Spoiler alert. This, to me, like you said, comes down to Warriors versus Rockets, right? For number 6.
Yes.
Man, oh man.
This is tough. For the past couple months, when we talk about the Rockets, we all treat them like they're an easy lick in the first round. Or just not, I don't think we've said first round, but the NBA Twitter,
I've said first.
you said first round. I've said they're not making the finals, but in general, the tone has been first round. You want to face them, right? I don't feel that way at all anymore. I feel like playing them is fucking war and it's hard. And I'm willing to say that the OKC Thunder are better, the Lakers are better. We gotta have a real conversation about them versus the Warriors, because I might have said so a month and a half ago. But the way the Rockets are playing, the way their strengths just keep shining, the way they're making it work with the 2 big lineup and not being able to be played off the court because they offensive rebound 50% of their missed shots with Sengun and Adams on the court together. The way Amin Thompson is the best defensive wing in the NBA and thriving more and more with the ball in his hands. The way Jalen Green is just straight up playing better and better. Not to a star extent. That ship has sailed, I think. But he's scoring more and more effectively. And even if he's not a star, if he's just like Norman Powell or whatever, that's effective in a defensive slanted team. Sengun's playing well. Everything is clicking for them extremely well right now. I don't feel like it's a given that the Warriors would beat them in a series.
I agree with you. If we had this conversation like 20 games ago, back when they were slumping a little bit, and we all saw like a lot of the downside of this team really shined, but they since then bounced back from that and like roared in the most outstanding way to the point to where like they've absolutely locked up that 2 seed. Something that moved me a lot was seeing the playoff light game. It almost felt like a damn preview. Seeing them face off against the Golden State Warriors. I saw your GOAT Donovan have nightmares. He was facing demons, and that goddamn demon was Amen Thompson, like Isaac said earlier. And seeing the versatility of this team defensively, they probably have the best team defensive versatility in the entire NBA, I would say, considering like athleticism and just the different array of guys that they could throw.
Besides the Thunder.
Thunder, of course. It's those two guys from you. You can throw in the Celtics if you want as well. But
I agree. And you know what the big difference is? You said they were slumping early in the year, and everybody's treated them in the most lazy way possible because they're such a regular season team. They can't do it in the playoffs. They don't got the skill. They're too young. And a lot of that probably is true when you compare them to the top 3 teams in the league. That's probably true to an extent. But we're not comparing them to that. We're comparing them to teams like the Warriors. And I think a reason they slumped, nobody wants to say this because people think this guy sucks. Jabari Smith Jr. is incredibly important. He missed a lot of time, and their defense fell off a cliff. It's, for the reasons you said, Mo, their defensive versatility and the types of lineups they can deploy. It is such an advantage to have 3 or 4 players on your roster that can be versatile defensive power forwards. You look across every contender, you have players that can play the 4 and can give you switchability, interior defense as a shot blocker, all these type of vital things. PJ Washington on the Mavs last year, right? We have Draymond Green famously. You have Jason Tatum for the Celtics. You have Aaron Gordon famously. Who else fits this mold? Jaren Jackson, to an extent, even though he plays out of 5, right? OG Anunoby. This type of big wing that can switch on the bigs, switch on the guards, insanely important for having an elite defense in the modern NBA. They have Tari Eason. They have Dylan Brooks. They have Jabari Smith. They have so many of these guys. Jabari Smith might be the most important one to their defense. There's a lot of debates between Rockets fans on if they should continue the starting lineup or not, because a lot of people feel like you got to bench Dylan Brooks to start Jabari, because him next to Sengun is so vital for their defense. He does so much small stuff for them that the biggest reason that they slumped because he wasn't there. And with him being back, I feel like this defensive talent is enough to win 1 or 2 playoff series.
It is, and they are definitely talented enough to do that. And I think that they're you see year in and year out, certain teams can win in the regular season just because, hey, we're just going to play harder than you, right? And the Rockets have not only that aspect, but the fact that everybody is also talented defensively. Yeah. And so you combine those two things, and that's where you get that's where you get defenses that are truly dominant. So I will give them that. But I do think that I think that 2 things are happening right now. One, I think that everyone has said for the longest, oh, Houston's an easy lick, it's an easy lick. And as you get closer to the playoffs, the general public might start to be like, start to, rethink the Rockets, this and that. I'm not saying you guys necessarily, but I do think as a whole, because I have heard some other people who have been down on the Rockets for the year kind of start to push their praises a little bit. And
they are playing better, so you're right. They are just getting better.
And it's a little bit of overreaction to the game on Sunday. That game highlighted what Amen Thompson is capable of. Do any of us think that Steph Curry is going to be held to 3 points the entire season? And so that's what I'm saying is Steph is going to bounce back. They're 1-1 in terms of Rockets versus Warriors. When Jimmy Butler plays, they play 2 games and they're 1-1. The Rockets were 2-1, or the Warriors were 2-1 against the Rockets pre-Jimmy. And so I think that in one of those games, it was in the play-in tournament, and you see the Rockets won that game, but in that game you saw down the stretch, you saw the half-court issues that Houston had. I do think that in this series, that is a very, very legitimate thing. And I do think that for 2 teams that are great defensively, having a poor half-court offense will come down to, that's going to be a deciding factor. And so that's why I'm taking Golden State over Houston.
I hear you. Calling it an overreaction to this one game is... No, because they also beat the Thunder the game before and had a fucking war with the Lakers that they barely lost the game before that. It is they've been having a lot of good games. If you want to say the overreaction of the week, sure.
But even in that Laker game, right? Yes, LeBron made some great plays. You also had the same thing where it's these guys can't score under 5 minutes. Sure,
yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm not saying they're an amazing offensive team, but why do you think they were in the game? Because their defense, and it was a battle that came down to the last couple of minutes. And they beat the shit out of the Thunder, which that was just an off game. Granted, we don't think that's going to be anything that we doubt the Thunder for, but
no, credit.
It's not easy.
Credit to them for that. That
Sengun
doesn't mean a lot.
looked fantastic. Sengun is really scoring well as of late. They're striking a better balance than early in the year when I feel like they've been trying to figure out how much to play through Sengun and in which ways. And if you look at his play type data, he's pretty fucking bad at off ball play types, dump off, roll man, all the stuff that's like a traditional big man stuff. He kind of sucks at all that. But he's just extravagant in isolation, extravagant in post-up situations. And I feel like they're trying to strike the balance of what to do there. In that game against the Thunder, they were letting him post up and isolating him from the high post and the elbows. He was killing Chet. And that is a real strength of his that most teams don't have anything to deal with. The Lakers do. That's why they shut it down at the end of that game, because they have LeBron James, who's a great one-on-one post defender for close games. Not every team has that. And if you want to say the Warriors have Draymond, so you feel good about them stopping in a series, that's fine individually for this team. But it's a real weapon that I don't know how I feel about this specific conversation with them versus the Warriors, but it's not as easy as I once thought it would be going, obviously, Warriors.
No, and I'm not, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want it to seem like I'm saying that the Rockets are going to get beat in 5 in any series that they play, or even if the Warriors play them, that they're going to beat them in 5, or the Lakers would do that, right? I'm not trying to say that it's going to be a war just because that's how Houston likes to play basketball. But if we're talking about winning the series, winning four games out of 7, even if it comes down to the last 2 minutes of Game 7, I do think that eventually Houston's half-court offense, which has been a problem the entire season, it's been something that we have pointed to. We talked about with the Nuggets, who you've been for 82 games. That's probably who you're going to be for the next 16. For me, that's a bigger deal, and I don't want to discount that. And so I think that going into the playoffs, where that does mean just a little bit more, I do think that is going to be a weakness and something that is going to be, quote unquote, exploitable. And so that's why I'm putting the Warriors above them.
Yeah. I also love the Warriors, so I'm not mad at it. The Warriors are also amazing defensively. Jimmy Butler is currently leading the league in free throws drawn in terms of percentage of play. It's like 23% of his plays or something ridiculous.
Typical.
Steph Curry looks pretty good now, obviously, with Jimmy Butler back. He looks like Steph Curry. He looks like a guy that's in conversation for first team All-NBA. Draymond Green might be the DPOY.
There's also Jimmy tax too, Jimmy playoff tax that we kind of have to add in.
Sure.
There.
I also, spoiler, I fucking also love the Warriors. They're also amazing. So, Mo, if you
I love
agree,
the
you want
admiration
the Warriors
that you have
5.
for the Houston Rockets. I think this conversation was needed to just to show how much we respect the Rockets and how much they've grown over the course of the year and how real of a superpower that they have. But ultimately, it's not easy. It's not an easy conversation whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give the edge to the Warriors for now, and I'm
Okay,
gonna
we can go
give,
Warriors.
I'm gonna
It's a
place
close
the Rockets up
conversation.
next.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
close.
I've seen Rockets fans, I forgot the guy's name, but smart Rockets fans I follow, was saying that it feels like they're watching their 3 young stars in Sengun, Amen, and throw Jalen Green there, like mature into being the stars of a team. That's definitely how it's felt these last 20 games or so. They are coming together at the right time. Like everything is clicking perfectly at the right time. And it's not just like they've convinced us now that style play is better, which to some extent, you do it for 80 games. That's a lot more convincing than 40. So it is that to some extent. But they're also like clearly playing better than they were early in the season. Like they are continuing to improve as the year goes on, continuing to find the right balance of how they want to deploy different looks they have. Ime Udoka's had a great coaching year, not necessarily. They have a lot of moving parts that you could very well find yourself falling into bad habits of how you want to deploy those with the rotations and whatnot. And a lot of fans constantly demand certain things in these rotations. And I think he's done a really good job of staying composed and experimenting with different looks and getting to the point now where towards the end of the season, we have a good grasp of all the looks they can deploy, all the just ridiculous amounts of lineups they can deploy. They have big lineups where they don't play a point guard, and they have like Amen, Tari Eason, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Sengun, and just destroy you defensively. They had the 2 big lineup where they have Sengun playing next to Steven Adams. They can go small and really play more Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet oriented. Just a very versatile team that's done a really smart practice of getting here the right way.
Yeah, I agree.
And with that being said, the Lakers are obviously 4, right?
Yeah.
No debate.
Yeah, naturally they're 4. I mean, who would have fucking thought at the start of the year, obviously, that they would come up to or rise all the way up to 4? Obviously, seismic things, historic things has happened to the roster. But even since then, they've legitimately proved themselves to be one of the best teams in the NBA and through and through have entered themselves into like the championship race, and those are legitimate discussions because of how well Luka and LeBron have been able to gel alongside of each other. The defense seemingly not falling off, and their offense like continuously getting better and better as each day goes on. And also fucking Austin Reeves and his development in the season 2. They're just finding new strengths as time goes on, and they're building up their argument on a day-to-day basis. It's harder and harder for me to like see them as less and less as a championship team.
Dude, I go so back and forth with them as a Lakers fan because obviously, the Lakers were on top of the world. You have Luka now. We're kicking ass. Everyone's happy and excited. I've been a little bit more reserved in the recent weeks since LeBron got hurt and came back. LeBron looks bad actively as of late for his standards. He looks bad. He can't blow by anybody. These lineups with LeBron only and no Luka, with Luka on the bench, bad. The offense falls off a cliff. I'm worried about that. But you have to get amazing LeBron to be able to win a championship, right? To be able to contend with these top 3 teams that are above them. And Luka, past 3 games, has looked so good that I'm starting to feel better. But before that, he also was struggling, and I was feeling really bad about this team. I was like, my God, man, this lack of big man offensive threats is making it so hard when these 2 guys aren't necessarily playing at their peak right now. I kind of felt like, damn, are the Lakers overrated right now?
Yeah.
But then thank God, these last few games, Luka is looking like Luka again. We had this game against the Mavericks. He scored more points in the paint than I've seen him score all season, counting his time with the Mavericks early in the year when he started a little bit slow. He looks good. These 2 games against the Thunder, bro, he is the Thunder's kryptonite. The Thunder lock everybody up besides Luka Doncic. They have all these elite defenders. None of them have anything for Luka. They did a good job against LeBron, not Luka. Luka can pick on all these guys, shoot over them. It's just like last year's playoffs. I am being convinced once again that this team has a real chance just because they have the one guy that can make the Thunder's lip quiver. They have the one guy who is, if he's going to continue this trajectory and play like we know we can play in the playoffs and elevate again like we've seen him do countless years, despite the weaknesses of the roster, despite the lack of lob threat, the lack of good screen setter for him, if he's just going to be a shot-making demon, anything's possible. He's that good.
Yeah, I agree. I feel more confident. I feel also confident in LeBron and his ability to get back to a certain level. Over the past few games, he's been playing better specifically too. Just like Luka Doncic, instead of 3 games, it's been like 2 games.
He really hasn't.
Not
he's really
back,
good
but
at
semi-back. But
he's really good at getting the points, rebounds, and assists. He's not super impactful, especially as the one ball handling the court right now. Now, in the fourth quarter of this Mavs game, you can tell he was saving his energy because the fourth quarter he turned the fuck up. But the first 3 quarters, man, it was not pretty.
Yeah.
His impact as an individual player isn't what it once was. I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But in terms of like seeing him at his best, which is obviously like alongside Luka Doncic, I feel very confident in his ability to hone in on that through the depths of the playoffs, which is what like solidifies their spot at 4 to me. Damn near, I could.
Don't even say it.
I was gonna say if LeBron was more consistent in his play, they could have an argument for 3. They don't, obviously, for now. So I'm going to reserve those thoughts and opinions.
I don't know. I mean, if Austin Reeves is a 3rd star, he's playing like an all-star level for an extended period of time.
See, this is why I told you don't say anything.
I didn't open the door. I just
listen. LeBron's offense has sucked. But defensively, he's defending his ass off. They're defending on a string. JJ Redick looks like he's one of the best game plan coaches in the league. They have 3-star ball handlers if we're counting Austin Reeves.
And they
don't have to play the Celtics. They have a better chance of beating the Thunder than maybe some other teams do.
They definitely do. They have the best chance in the Western Conference. But they stay at 4 for me. So
yeah, and it's a testament to how absurd the top 3 teams are, right? It's not even really about the Lakers. The top 3 teams are so dominant that it'd be disrespectful to say they're not the top 3 teams. But man, I think the Lakers are the biggest variance team in the league for me right now. That if you told me they're in the finals, I'd be like, what? The Thunder lost? What the fuck? But like, okay, if somebody did it, I guess it could be the Lakers. But if you told me they lost in like the second round to the Rockets, I'd be like, oh, okay. So their lack of threats from a big man position ended up hurting them. Luka was still jump shot dependent because the rim scoring didn't translate against an elite defense. LeBron struggled to put it together every other night, and it wasn't enough juice like we saw in the past couple of years. Okay, I guess I could see that. Both sides are very possible. They could be massively disappointing or fucking completely destroy everybody's bracket.
Do you think a second round exit is disappointing?
A little bit. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
What's the standard for you in the season? Is it conference finals or like?
I told you I'm up and down. I've been kind of worried about them. So like I won't be that surprised, but I think the NBA world would be if they lost to the Rockets in the second round.
I think it would be
The betting odds would come out and the Lakers would be the big favorites in that series.
Yes,
Yeah.
they would be.
Yeah, I think a second round loss to the Rockets would be definitely disappointing. It wouldn't be like, fuck, man, like blow up.
Is there
this goddamn
anybody
roster.
that they can lose to in the second round that you would be like, like, all right, where it would like obviously like you would be disappointed because they lost, but not of like the season is a disappointment type of thing.
Well, if the bracket started today, they'd play the Grizzlies first round, easy lick. Then second round, they would play either the Rockets or Warriors/Timberwolves. Let's say it's the Warriors. They could lose to. If you told me to lose to the Rockets or the Warriors, it's in the realm of possibility as a like the worst case scenario. That could happen, right? I won't be that shocked that happens. A lot of people would be. A lot of people would be insanely shocked if those things happened.
Okay, yeah, I just think that therefore I think that we've known the top three, we've known the inner circle so much. So like the Lakers, you have two of the best playoff players in the league on your team, and that gives you a certain floor, and it also gives you a ceiling. And so I think that they deserve to be 4.
Okay. So now we get to the part that we knew was coming, right? The top 3. This is interesting because
It's easy.
it's easy to an extent, but well, actually, it's really not easy because we have 2 tiers here, 2 and 3, and then 1. And I did that on purpose. This is why we did this pyramid because who's the championship favorite between the Celtics and the Thunder or the Cavs? We have to pick one. These are obviously top 3 teams that are close to each other relatively, right? But if we got to pick one that is the favorite, who we think is going to win the finals, if that's even how you view it, but who should be number 1 in the power rankings? That's not easy, I don't think.
Oklahoma
Don't
City
act
should be
brand
1.
new, Isaac. Who's gonna be number 1 is gonna be who you said like 30 games ago, 15 games ago, 10
At the
games
beginning
ago.
of the season.
You know how I feel.
Yeah.
I just mean for everybody. I don't know if you guys agreed. I don't know. I mean, the Celtics deserve some thought, I thought.
They deserve thought, absolutely, because they are the reigning champions, and as of late, they've been good, great, elite. You could tell me that they've been one of the best teams or the best team in the NBA. But me personally, I know who resides at number 1. I'm going to choose who's been doing it from game 1 to game like 78, 79. But I will say the Celtics, and specifically Kristaps Porzingis, doing what he does has been they've taken logo threes against the New York Knicks. Again, it's the Knicks, a different caliber team, different defense and whatnot. But him being
those hurt.
fully back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so obviously,
These
I've been
conversations
staying
are-
on it. Obviously, I've been saying since the summer. I picked the OKC Thunder to win this finals. As soon as they got Isaiah Hartenstein and Caruso, I've been standing on that. I'm not going to deviate now. So you guys know I think OKC should be 1. But if I'm putting on my objective hat, there is concerns that people have about the Thunder against the Lakers, against whoever, right? There's a lot of pressure riding on J-Dub's shoulders as a second scorer. A lot of pressure on Chet, who post hip injury, he's coming back from a hip injury that he recovered from in season and didn't get a summer to rehab. So his lower body is not strong right now because he broke his fucking hip and had to sit down for 3 straight months. So you're feeling the effects of that in terms of his ability to attack with strength. 2, he's playing power forward, which he's never goddamn done before in the NBA. And there's been some adjustments there. It's clearly not the best way to utilize him as a scorer, but they're kind of hoping he adjusts and sacrificing his individual production for hopefully more versatility and whatnot. But it's been an adjustment, right? I think he doesn't look great as a power forward. When he starts to center, he looks really good. That's a question mark. We know J-Dub's offensive variance is a question mark. Obviously, people have concerns about the inexperience and whatever that I don't share, but it's a thing. And the Celtics are just like the safest team in the league that we know what they can do. We've seen them do it, and now they're fully
something that's
healthy.
been super under talked about when it comes to the Boston Celtics is like Jaylen Brown and the health of his knee. Like over the last, 2 weeks or so, he's been like talking about how he's never had any serious injuries throughout his career. And over these last few games, even like the last game or one of the last few games you saw him play against the Knicks, you're talking about how he only played like 20 minutes on him and you didn't see him towards the end of the stretch. That's like also partly because like, he has serious issues with his knee, and he's been talking about this pain over the last few weeks that's been like kind of like terrorizing him. And a ton of Celtics fans are noticing how scary and detrimental that could be towards their championship contending future.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're them being so unbeatable and so clearly the favorites is fully contingent on them being fully healthy because they have a top 6 that's utterly absurd, and when they're all there, they're damn near unbeatable. If you lose one of those cogs, you're still fantastic, and maybe you could still win, but it's not a near certainty at all, especially with how great the Thunder are. So it sounds like we're on agreement. Thunder go 1.
Yes,
Thunder won for sure.
Yeah, because like if we're doing the power ranking, even though that it's like it's not just the whole season, but it's also how you're playing right now. But at any 10-game stretch of the season, you can pull up the Thunder's numbers, and they are one of the best teams in the league. So when you look at body of work, how they're playing right now, how they project to the playoffs, they have the best combination of all three. They deserve to be at number 1.
Yeah. Now, I'm still putting them at 1. My eye is trained, zoned in, honed in, red laser on his forehead to Mark Daigneault. I am watching carefully. This isn't a bad problem to have. It's a good problem to have, but it's an important problem that he gets the right answer to is how they're going to handle these two big men. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Chet Holmgren is so unbelievably much better as a center than a power forward right now. He is not, I don't think you should be starting him and Isaiah Hartenstein full time as your main look. Obviously, you're going to run that lineup a good amount. And if a certain matchup calls for it, if you think that it gives you a better chance of defending Nikola Jokic and doing the Timberwolves playbook, sure, maybe you start for that series. But case-to-case basis may be different. I think the main look should probably be to go back to Chet at center. And a lot of Thunders fans feel like he's hiding his cards and not going back to that yet for this last week and kind of playing real vanilla because they had the 1 seed locked up and not want to give anything away, which might be the case. They have so many good players, but it really, really matters for the championship ceiling to beat the Celtics, that they nail that part, I think. And that's going to be a big choice that we have to see what side he goes on, because he's been pro give the 2 big lineup time to gel and see if it becomes something, which I understand. When your team is so good, you can experiment. And it has been good. But I think every Thunder fan agrees that when they have the smaller lineup, the defense is a little bit more tenacious. They force a little bit more turnovers. They're a little bit faster. They have a better scoring threat from Chet there at the 5. You can still go to the 2 big stuff in spurts. It feels like that's the right answer to me. But we'll see. That's going to decide a lot to me.
Yeah. I do have a lot of faith in the Thunder and in Mark D to deploy the lineups as needed and use as an adjustment and not necessarily the base of it. So I'm cool with it. I also think that a lot of this also depends on J-Dub, because if you're able to play and we talked about this last time, if you're able to play the 2 big lineup and J-Dub steps up offensively, he might be inclined to be like, okay, well, we're good now, right? It's okay. But if you feel that you need a little bit more offensive juice, you might have to go back to that original look to help out J-Dub, provide a little bit more spacing for everybody, and rely on Chet as an offensive threat. So again, we talk about this as X factors. J-Dub really is, I think, the key that's gonna determine what direction that they go in.
Yeah, and it's not even just offensively, too. I think defensively is the bigger thing. When they're small, I think their defense is better when they're small, which is like against what most people think would be the case, right? But they have so many insane perimeter defenders, and when they have Kaysen starting out there, and they have 4 guys that can be demons in passing lanes and cause turnover havoc, with Chet holding it down, that's been consistently the better defensive look, I think.
True. Okay, so they're 1.
Now, is there a debate between these top 2 East teams for 2 and 3? Obviously, the Cavs are the 1 seed. They've been the 1 seed for the entirety of the year, pretty much wire to wire. They've earned the spot up top in a lot of people's eyes. We know what the Celtics can do. Defending champs, that gives you benefit of the doubt for a reason. The Celtics have they're getting healthy now, and the Cavs not limped to the finish line, but they took their foot off the gas, obviously, because they locked up the 1 seed. They have not been as locked in, and there's been some stinky showings because of it. But I think we can attribute that to nothing to play for, and naturally they took their eye off the ball a little bit, which is fine in a regular season perspective. With that being said,
it means something though. I'm not throwing it completely away. The 4-game losing streak that they had, it was not.
I don't give a shit about the 4-game losing streak.
It means just a little bit to me. I think the game that they had the other day against the Kings at home, that one is a little bit alarming just because of how low I think of the Kings.
Yeah.
But you played everybody. It's not like, it's not like, okay, we're gonna come out here, we're gonna play everybody 25 minutes, and then we're gonna get out of here. All the starters played, and they played regular minutes, and they couldn't win at home in a game that I think would have definitively locked up the 1 seed or something like that. But they've had, like you said, they've had a couple of these moments where it's like, You're not as impenetrable as you.
But you know it's
like.
malaise. Like, do you think? So I guess the question is, you know that it is lack of focus because once he's locked up, do you feel like that's something that's going to translate, and you think that's going to hurt them, or do you think they'll be fucking fine because they'll try harder?
I think ultimately they'll be fine. However, I do think that those 5 games give me a little bit more credence to stand on because I've thought that the Celtics are the better team throughout the year in terms of like who I would take in a playoff series.
That's fine, but because of those 5 games, if you credence to stand on, that feels like you're looking for a reason to say I was right.
I was.
That's bullshit.
I was, and I found it. Like,
if you think the Celtics are better, that's fine. If these 5 games when they stopped trying because they were so far ahead is the reason why, that's utter bullshit.
No,
For me personally,
because I've been saying it, but y'all didn't want to listen, so now I had to point to some losses because everyone's like, "Oh, look at the wins, look at the stuff."
Complete bullshit.
Now I have something. Now I have something to show you guys.
Absolute nonsense.
But I do think that the Celtics, you could have asked me in October, you could ask me in January, you could ask me now. I would have taken the Celtics in a playoff series against the Cavs. I'm still going to do that, especially with the Celtics peaking right now, even with Jalen's injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one, KP's his offense and him being on the floor consistently, like Mo always says, that's what makes them unbeatable. And 2, the thing that I have asked and I have complained and screamed about for the last 18 months or whatever about Jason Tatum, none of that matters anymore. Jason Tatum is that guy offensively doing things, carrying this team in big moments. Like,
that's right.
The stuff that I have asked for, I am seeing.
Say it again. He's him. Top 5 player, superstar.
For sure, top 5 player. For sure, superstar.
For sure, top 5. I think we throw around superstar.
Top 4 player. He's obviously a superstar. Jason Tatum, what?
I think
there are 5 superstars in the NBA.
Now we're finna go into a whole conversation.
There's not 5 superstars in the NBA.
I think
the league has gone so much bigger than what it used to be, Donovan. We need to broaden like how we talk about the word superstar now.
If Jason Tatum's not a superstar, we care way too much about this label. He is so clearly a superstar.
Yeah.
We have to. I don't know if it's like 100%. That's not the point. I'm trying to praise him. I'm trying to say that he's really good. I'm trying to say that Jason Tatum is doing all the things, and I feel really, really good about the Celtics right now. And if they don't make it to the finals, I will be shocked.
I feel good about them too. Mo, are you in agreement? Are the Celtics 2 for you?
Me personally, yeah, the Celtics are 2. They've officially like overlapped the Cleveland Cavaliers. Seeing Kristaps Porzingis come back fully in effect, while also seeing Jaylen Brown and I think it's like knee bone bruising or something like that he's been going through, like hinder him. Porzingis is, I don't want to say he's more important to me than Jaylen Brown, but I'm banking on like seeing Porzingis back just makes them unbeatable in every other way. If Porzingis is there, Derek White is there, Drew Holiday is there, and more importantly Tatum as well, then I'm going to put my worries about Jaylen Brown to the side and see like this ginormous, this insane blueprint that just feels unbeatable. I'm putting the Celtics in 2.
Fair enough. See, it doesn't even matter if I want to be contrarian or not. The Celtics are going to 2. I'm outvoted regardless. I don't even know my answers there. I've been struggling with it all year. I've wanted to give the Cavs the credit in like conversation to say we can't gloss over it because the Celtics are defending champs. Like the Cavs are the 1 seed for a reason. It's kind of the Rockets thing that I understand the trends we see year by year of what translates to the playoffs. And I understand that NBA fans at large feel the need to be proven to them that they need to respect the young team before they're willing to. I kind of hate that. But I also can't be upset by giving the Celtics credit when they're playing the way they are. And if they're going to be fully healthy, they're so unbelievably proven that I can't be mad at it.
And also, like, there's only one, no matter how many good, like, young teams or, like, unproven teams there are in a season, only one of them is going to be able to prove people right? Only one person is going to be able to be the champion. So, as for me and my household, we will be trusting in the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that's going to be our young team, and we can go from there. But yeah, I think Boston, they are number 2, and you just look down the line, and at every turn in terms of who's going to be playing in crunch time, they have somebody who can make plays either offensively or defensively, and if Jaylen Brown is not there, that's fine. Derek White's gonna hit every timely shot that there is. It does not matter. He's gonna be shooting. Drew Holiday, he's gonna have one game this playoff run where it's gonna be a tie game. He's gonna go in and strip somebody and save the game that way. Al Horford they're gonna have one game where people are gonna say, hey, let's just pick on the old man today, and Al Horford's gonna be like, I don't think you understand who I am. Right. And he's just gonna be fantastic defensively. Peyton Pritchard's going to have his game. They have all of these ways that they can win. They have all of these options. They have the experience. You have Jason Tatum coming into, another level on everything. They should be 2.
Yeah. And there we are, man. This feels like a good list to me. We went OKC number 1, obviously a close race between them, and then 2 and 3 we have Celtics and Cavs.
How do we feel about the Grizzlies at 12? Are we bumping the Grizzlies up to 7?
No.
8? Are we moving them up?
I mean, listen, fucking 7 through 12 are all so tight. Like, I mean, now I'm looking at I probably like the Grizzlies a little bit more than the Pacers, but
Same.
I'm fine with it. It's so close. I'm okay with 7 through 12 being whatever order we feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good,
I'm okay with
is
this.
good, though.
But if I was doing the nitty-picky stuff, of course, I think I would move the Grizzlies just like a tad bit up over the Pacers. But overall, I feel pretty good about this list. And then also, of course, I think back to like the Timberwolves thing, I think I'll bump them over the Clippers. But hey, like it's just one spot
Can't do
over.
it.
I'm not going to kill myself over it.
Can't do it.
And I think this is the perfect TD3 pyramid.
Wow, look at that. Our last power rankings of the year. We all feel good about it, but surely it will age absolutely terribly because this is going to be one of the craziest NBA playoffs that we've seen in a long time, I think, parity-wise. Anything can happen. Like, truly, besides the 1 and 2 seeds, I guess, really just besides the 1 seeds, anything is in play for any outcome. I don't even, have confident predictions this year, whatsoever. Besides the Thunder, Celtics, and Cavs will win the first round, I have 0 predictions I'm confident in. Truly anything can happen.
When I see the actual bracket, I promise you I will go 100% with my predictions.
I promise you I'll go about 50% because I'm horrible at predicting the first round every single year.
I will predict
fucking ass at it.
I will predict every series perfectly.
I'm so
I
bad
love
at
that
predicting
confident,
playoff
Donovan.
matchups. First round
Alex, shout
series,
out to
I'm
you for
horrible.
humility.
I'm horrible at it. Every year I suck at it. Well, I said the last 2 years I suck at it.
It's hilarious,
Yeah, man.
bro. Yeah.
With that being said, that's the end of the main part of the episode.
Welcome to TikTok time, Crown Eaters. We march.
Welcome to TikTok time. Today we have some fun stuff in line for you guys. The first thing we're going to do today, we're going to talk about the GOAT. We haven't been mentioning him very much as of late. We don't do enough talk about the GOAT.
Talking about LeBron?
Talking about Stephen A. Smith. Today, we are going to grade the best Stephen A. Smith takes, or not best, I should say, the most outlandish, the best and the worst, probably mostly worst, but I pulled 10 of his most crazy, infamous takes. Only the NBA ones. We're only doing the NBA stuff. We're not talking about Shohei Ohtani. We're not talking about anything else insane.
Okay.
Just the NBA stuff today. We're going to grade them. You guys let me know how they age, if they're good, if they're bad. I don't even know if you're going to be grading them on correctness or not because it's Stephen A. Smith. But whatever you want to grade it on, you'd let me know.
I'm grading it on pure entertainment. On showmanship.
To each their own. Do whatever you want with this, but I got 10 takes for you. I want to hear you guys' reactions to
I
them.
don't care how right or wrong these takes are. I'm letting you know that right now.
Okay.
All right.
First up, I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this.
Again, on pure entertainment. 1, pleading to somebody as a father when you don't even like him like that.
Is Stephen A. a father?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know
Yeah, he does have a daughter. He has a daughter.
Okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
But that right there, oh my goodness.
I'm giving this an F. This is ridiculous.
It's pure entertainment. He knows how to keep the show going. And not only this sparked, not only a media tour by him,
We'll get to more.
the media tour, and LeBron going on Pat McAfee's show. It gave us at least 2 weeks
Bro.
of just straight high school
I
drama
would
content.
understand this. I would understand this if something
Hey.
crazy happened to Bronny. Only thing that happened is Tyrese Maxey scored 6 points on him. That's why he said this. He acted like he was put in a torture chamber. Like
He got
was
done up by an all-star. Boo-hoo. Everyone gets that treatment, bro. What the fuck?
He gave up 2 drives in the third quarter, and he was like, "Does he even care about his health?" Like he acted like
Yeah,
he
it
was
was
thrown in
wild.
front of a train.
Yeah, it was wild. But again, Stephen A. Smith is about the show. He's about the ratings. He knows how to say things in a certain way to get you to care. And boy, did LeBron care about this. He cared. So on that, A plus.
This is a F. This is a mean F, bro. He says this as if LeBron's over here like forcing Bronny to play and telling JJ Redick to shut the fuck up and play Bronny over there. Like this is a mean F.
Stop this. Next one. I don't give a damn about that kid in Europe. The Phoenix Suns have to take DeAndre Ayton first overall in the draft. He said in 2018.
Ooh.
He let DeAndre Ayton's aura get to him, bro. This is another mean whopping F. Because he's goddamn wrong and also it wasn't funny.
He was talking about DeAndre Ayton like he was Shaq. He was like, when you got the sure thing that'll change your franchise, you take
Brother, he
him.
compared him to David Robinson, I believe. He was all in on him.
And listen, man, we all liked Ayton at the time. A lot of us also liked Luka at the time. This was crazy then. It's not just revisionist history. This aged hilariously.
Yeah, saying you don't give a damn about him as if Luka was just like some regular dude, Goran Dragic or something of that nature is disgusting.
That's what he thought he was.
Then was disgusting now, and it's a whopping F.
Yeah, no thought.
F
No
class at
thought.
its finest.
This was island solidarity at its finest. You understand? Because DeAndre Ayton is from the Bahamas. Stephen A. Smith and his people are from St. Thomas. He said, "I'm standing with my people." He's going first overall
We got this twice
again.
Oh no, I went backwards by accident. He said, "Is that a trick question? To give a Kwame Brown, who cares? Throw a parade whether you win a championship or not. This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play."
This might be the Stephen A. NBA take of all time. Like this might be the most infamous one ever.
I love that he was asked, did the Lakers give up too much for Pau Gasol? And if he was on TV, he wanted to be like, are you fucking dumb?
He said throw a parade. Holy shit.
Whether you win or not, we got him out of here. That's a chip in my eye. Like, who's the modern equivalent that if you traded him, you'd be like, job's finished, we won? Like, I can't think of a single player in the league.
According to Nico Harrison, it was Luka Doncic.
Facts.
Like,
I can't think of a single player that I have that much disdain for. That I was like, besides the ones that don't keep their hands to themselves. But other than that, like, nobody do I feel this strongly about. That I was like, win, lose, or draw, we won.
we got him
I
out
mean-
of here. I don't know.
Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say Westbrook, but even then for the Lakers, he wasn't like that bad.
That's
as,
different.
As
That's
if you have
different.
to throw a parade.
That's different. This, I mean, like, listen, like you said, the Stephen A. Smith quote, it goes down in history and sports media history. This is an easy A.
It's an A plus.
I'm so, because remember a couple years ago, Kwame Brown was going on the tour, just talking about, he was going after everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked that Kwame Brown, and maybe he did it, I just didn't see it, but did not run up and physically assault Stephen A. Smith for this take, because this stays with Kwame Brown for the rest of his life. How dare you besmirch my name like this?
Dude, whenever most people think about Kwame Brown these days, they don't think of him as like the player and like the positive or negative things that he did on the court. They think about Stephen A. Smith and what he said about himself, bro.
Yeah. They think he can't commit 2 post moves to memory.
Exactly. That is his legacy.
He's got bad feet, bad hands.
He has small hands, bad feet.
Can't commit 2 post moves to memory.
You
That's such a bar.
He can move, but he's not really mobile like that. No, it's iconic.
Bro,
He was in the
describing
flow
him as
state.
if he's like impaired to a degree. Like, what
Exactly.
can he do? Like, this is very insulting.
That was just pure flow state takesmanship. This is the greatest take in NBA history. Next up, the Lakers should package Kyle Kuzma and picks to get Devin Booker. He said in 2020, January.
Hey man, listen, D'Lo in a pick could have got you anybody on NBA Twitter. Kuzma in a pick. This is January 2020. This is before. Is this before or post bubble?
Before the bubble.
Before the bubble.
Before the bubble.
So Kyle Kuzma, he hadn't hit the game winner yet.
Yeah, nah.
Okay.
Whopping F minus. He's doing the traditional run-of-the-mill Lakers jargon, and it's not entertaining. It's diabolical to progressive conversations that we're having to the game today.
This is funny for so many reasons. 1, hilarious, Kyle Kuzma for Devin Booker. Ha. 2, this is like 3 months after the season started when they got Anthony Davis. They won the chip later this year. Why is he going so hard? 3 months into the experiment. Everything about it was funny. Suns fans are like, what are you talking about? Lakers fans are like, even I'm saying, what are you talking about? And I'm a Lakers fan. I'm insane. It's just purebred insanity.
Again, great stuff for the aggregators to take A+ take. A+ take. He knows how to get his words.
A+ take.
He knows how to get his words into the mainstream. I love
It's true. It's a craft.
He's an emphatic speaker. Congratulations.
exactly.
I think Kyrie should retire. Clearly, you don't want to play basketball bad enough.
I told you.
Ooh.
He said this after
We
he
know
missed
what
3
this is
games for
about.
personal reasons. Stephen A. Smith saw Kyrie and he saw a demon. He hated everything about him this year.
Oh my goodness. Again, A+ take.
Oh my God.
I'm
This
telling
is F.
I'm telling it's only A+ because you are watching and you're like, I can't believe this is on TV right now. and I can't believe that it's on TV and I don't have to pay to watch it. Right?
I didn't know
this
you were
is-
allowed to be this dumb on TV. This is amazing.
This is ridiculous. I think Kyrie should retire from basketball. First of all, Stephen A., you've used PTO before. Let's not be outlandish here.
Kyrie missed 3 games. He acted like he missed 3 months. Like he was at home chilling, playing fucking Warzone. He
Now I
just had to
understand
miss
why
3
Kyrie
games.
has a bad taste in his mouth because of what happened the previous year when it comes to the whole COVID shot stuff or whatever. But again, this is an insane drag. This is a F. C because it's funny as fuck, but F.
Stephen A. Smith's ability to hold personal grudges is next level. And the fact that ESPN's like, fuck it, go out there, tell him he sucks. Who cares? It's hilarious.
Can you imagine if you got an opportunity to interview Stephen A. Smith one day? That would be hilarious.
I wouldn't know how to handle it. I would not know how to go about it. It would be so funny. I know we'd be yelling. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
We need Stephen A. Smith for crayons for
Oh my
TikTok.
God.
time.
TikTok
Oh
time,
my
man.
goodness, that'd be crazy.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
We're gonna ask him about the GOAT debate.
I'll be golden, brother.
We're gonna ask him to do like Q4 Cuffle point guards, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, but big booty Latinas." He's like, off track. He's gonna be all over the place. I'm like, sir, I said Steve Nash or Chris Paul.
He just want to talk about some ass. Sorry.
That's all he wants to talk about.
So that he's on his own platform. He just off the rails.
I'm like, are you cutting Kyrie or keeping him? He's gonna be like, Pogs.
That is true. Anytime he's not on his platform, that's the
That's all
only
he
thing.
talks
that's the
about.
only
That
thing on
man
his
is
platform.
horny. Holy shit.
As fuck.
If he's not on ESPN, it is booty and politics. That's it.
Crazy combination, by the way.
He's a political gooner, man.
He's like, 1, I get hella hoes. 2, I can fix the country. 2, I can get hoes while fixing the country.
Oh, man.
Oh, I can't breathe. He said, "You do not want to make an enemy out of me." He told to Kevin Durant in 2015.
The
Again,
tone in which he said this was fucking hilarious. He said, "You don't want to make an enemy out of me," as if he had shooters at every corner of KD's block.
exactly,
What are you
exactly.
talking about, bro?
I watched this live, and I just remember thinking like, is he gonna try and kill Kevin Durant? Like, what is the end goal if Kevin Durant makes an enemy out of you? What happens then? Like, what's the next step? Exactly.
And mind you, this happened because all Kevin Durant said is, "I've never spoken to Stephen A. Smith," because Stephen A. was reporting that he would leave his team in free agency, and KD was like, "I don't talk to his ass."
Yeah, he
And
said,
was
"None of my
like-
people know you, bro."
All he said was Stephen A. made that up, and he was like, "Count your fucking days."
You don't want to make an enemy out of me. What are we doing, bro?
Don't come to work. Don't show up to Bristol.
And I'm telling you, and like anytime anybody has anything to say about Stephen A. and anything he says, now he has to tell his whole life story. I was eating tuna fish and Kool-Aid sandwiches. I've been a reporter for 20 years, working my way.
Watching high school basketball.
Exactly. Working my way on the New York Daily Post, on this, on that. Just like, hey. I just said I didn't think that the Clippers were going to win the championship. Like, that's it.
Bro, he takes every single thing personal. That's what makes him great, I guess.
And you know what? My favorite Stephen A. quotes are when he threatens violence to professional athletes. So I'm going A+.
Okay.
It very much is like, who do you think you
I
are?
know. I love it. We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived, he said after the Knicks drafted Kristaps Porzingis.
This is the most factual thing that he has ever said. Not because Kristaps Porzingis was a quote unquote bad draft pick, but because Phil Jackson came onto the Knicks and said, "We're gonna be a contender this year. We're gonna try and compete." And then he picked somebody that after the draft was like, "Yeah, he's a project. He's gonna take some time." And we're like, "What? Why are you doing this?"
Mind you, Stephen A. Smith said you could have drafted Willie Cauley-Stein, Justice Winslow, or Stanley Johnson.
Hey, man.
I think they made out okay.
Hey man, at the time, everybody was very high on Stanley Johnson.
I know. I remember.
At the time.
Man,
Crazy.
this wasn't
Crazy
even
work.
him as an analyst. This was peak fandom at its
Facts.
finest, bro. He was so distraught. He was so, again, deceived, run amok, bamboozled, and all those things of that nature. And I felt every single word that he said at that time.
You
And
know how
that
passionate you
meme
gotta
right
be?
there carries on for decades, bro.
You know how upset you got to be to feel like you've been run amok?
Yeah.
I've never felt run amok in my life.
Hoodwinked?
You never had Phil Jackson as your GM.
Not once.
As your
I've
president
had
of
Magic
basketball.
Johnson, and I still didn't feel run amok, and he did some bullshit.
Didn't
I'm not
he
going to be
trade?
here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He traded Visa Zubac for nothing.
For like a second round pick or some dumb shit like that?
No, for that one dude. What's that white shooter's
Mike
name?
Muscala.
Mike Muscala.
Anytime we talk
from the
about,
Hawks, damn.
you don't understand this. Isaac and I were in the car together. He pulled over to the side of the road to send out a tweet over how disgusted he was. That Zubac was. We left a Waffle House because Zubac got traded. And Isaac was like, "This is devastating.
This is fucking idiotic.
I can't even eat my
and I
hash browns right
still
now.
didn't feel run amok.
I can't even have my All-Star special."
I did feel hoodwinked and bamboozled, but not quite run amok. This is an A+ take. This is hilarious.
Elite, A+.
It's the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar player, he said when Kevin Durant joined the Warriors.
I'm giving this an A+ because he came off of because he said that he was on vacation and came out of vacation to talk about this and to give this take. Once again, creating a rift between him and Kevin Durant, making an enemy out of Kevin Durant in this statement.
This is after the other one, though. So he already had bad blood. He came out and he was like, I got to take every
Yeah.
opportunity to call this motherfucker soft. This is
Yeah.
weak.
This is in
It's
fact
hilarious.
the very next year. So he had the most static for him. He was super charged up, especially after his bosses hit him up and be like, yeah, big boy. But yeah, big boy, you got to go ahead and cut that vacation short. Come back in the studio. We need you.
Yeah.
This right here,
This,
A+.
oh my goodness. Yeah, this take defined how people felt about Kevin Durant for the next 4 years. And even to this day, some people will still call it the weakest move from a superstar.
Some people. Just look at the man in the mirror.
Hey, man.
No, Stephen A. Smith set the tone for this.
It'd be like that.
We can go. Okay, next one. I don't know why Nike made these uniforms with hoodies. You're going to have a lot of white folks in the crowd who think this is Trayvon Martin being revisited. He said in 2018 when J.R. Smith wore a hoodie on the bench.
I will say,
What the
in
fuck?
this in this current moment, I am feeling hoodwinked, bamboozled, led straight, run amok. Because you said it wasn't going to be anything wild, and this is insane.
This is the most.
I forgot about this.
He saw J.R. Smith simply wear a Tech Fleece hoodie, and he was
That's
like,
a threat.
the white folks can't handle this. What the fuck was he talking about? This was ludicrous.
Hearing him yell, that's a threat.
They're gonna see people in the stands. They're gonna see Bradley Beal and be like, "Whoa!"
That's a threat.
Like they didn't. Like folks like didn't want to sit around J.R. Smith because he had his hoodie on, bro. They forfeited their seats. We don't want to sit around him.
What is he talking about? He said the bench is no place for a hoodie. I feel like the bench is a perfectly acceptable place for a hoodie. That feels so okay to me.
He said white folks in the crowd who think this is Trayvon Martin being. Why are you throwing Trayvon Martin's name in this sentence, bro? You could have just said it was unprofessional.
He's fucking insane. F tier take. What was he cooking? It's insane. This gets forgotten about in the list of crazy shit he said.
This is so forgotten. I
my goodness.
completely forgot. You just brought back a wave of memories.
And this is peak Stephen A. Smith when he was doing like get up in the morning, 2 hours of first take, leave first take, have lunch, do 3 hours of a radio show. He was talking for like 8 hours straight, just saying nonsense at a certain point. It was ridiculous. And if you talk for 8 hours straight, something wild is gonna come out of your mouth.
And this
but
isn't
there's
even the most-
no
this
excuse
isn't
for
even-
something this wild.
This isn't even close to the most offensive thing he said, though.
I'm not condoning it. I'm just letting you know the situation.
If you're at home, do not Google Stephen A. Smith, Ray Rice. Don't do it. Do not look up what he said about Ray Rice.
I'm finna do that right now. You got me
Don't
fucked
do
up.
it. Don't do it. Next up, we got, if he put his hands on me, I would have swung on him.
Again.
Talking about LeBron's confrontation.
Again, A+ because it's great TV. And in defense of Mr. Smith, he did say that LeBron would have beat him up. He did say, I would have gotten the work. But as a man, I just had to, for my own personal pride, I had to do it.
Why did he bring this up at all? Nobody suggested LeBron would put his hands on him.
He felt threatened.
Dude, what makes Stephen
He
A
saw
look
LeBron, he
even
said, "That's
more
a
like
threat."
a clown after this is that LeBron posted a meme of Stephen A boxing, and he looks like a shit. Those punches that he threw, sort of guy Stephen A looked like he was gonna throw, tore out his goddamn shoulder, bro. It looks so bad and weird.
One, he brought up uninhibited. Nobody told him to. He brought up what he would do if if LeBron put his hands on him, and then he brought up he would also get beat up about it. Nobody forced you to say any of these words.
I would have swung. You would have swung on LeBron James.
You would have missed. You can't reach.
Mind you, he just signed his new contract. He was feeling on top of the world. Of course he would have swung. Of course he would have swung. I'm the $100 million man.
So now I would have sued him. And that's the last one we got. This one is just hilarious. Let's go D.
He would have swung on LeBron. You are out of your mind.
No, I'm going A+.
He's hilarious. Next thing we're gonna
It
do.
was funny. Nick Wright said that Stephen A. Smith was writing fan fiction in
He was.
real time.
That's exactly what he was doing for himself. He was living out his wildest dreams.
Elite.
Swung on LeBron.
God, Stephen Smith's a wild guy.
Insane.
Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna guess the NBA player by their jump shots. We've done a lot of guess the NBA player variants. You guess by hairlines, you guess by smiles, by noses, by teams that played for, by stat lines, by colleges, by all sorts of variety of things. Today,
Can we guess any more?
you're gonna see a silhouette of the
absolutely
jump
can.
shot. We've actually never done this. I
I've been waiting
by
on
the
this, bro.
grandparents if I wanted to.
Yeah, I've been waiting on this, bro. You have no idea. I've been waiting on this game for fucking 7-8 months, bro, and it finally happened. I've been training for this moment.
Okay, this one I don't think it's too hard. I did some recognizable jump shots. Maybe next time we do it, it'll be insanely hard, and I'll do some bullshit. But this time, it's all popular players that I think you guys should be able to do well at this. We'll see. I gave you guys layups to start. We'll see. Maybe you guys disappoint me. I don't know. Maybe it's easier said because I know who it is. But yeah, real simple. You'll see a silhouette. You tell me who the player is.
Let's do it.
First name. Who is this?
This is easy to me.
Go ahead.
This looks like a 2-guard, one of the greatest of all time. I'm leaning towards Kobe Bryant. I'm looking at the arc of his shot too, and how that left hand is laying on that ball or guiding that ball. I think it's Kobe.
That's a
Kobe
ball
or
over
MJ. But I'm
Well,
leaning
pick
towards. I'm leaning towards. Actually,
This
this might be.
doesn't. This.
I'm leaning towards
I,
Kobe right now.
I do think. Let's see. I can see the Kobe, but the arms are kind of skinny though,
You're saying Kobe swole.
and so like KD maybe
No, not KD. Not KD.
like
Can't be
a
KD.
fading KD.
I think it looks like this is like the damn near like the release point of the shot. So I'm gonna lean towards Kobe or MJ, and I'm gonna say Kobe. But now I'm starting to feel like it's MJ. But I'm gonna say Kobe.
I'll trust him. We'll go Kobe.
This is Kobe Bryant. KD's arms are way longer than that.
Boom.
Good
Yeah,
job.
there we go.
Okay.
The arc of his shot is so 1-to-1 for me.
The high release point. It makes it real clear that it's Kobe.
Mhm.
Okay, this is start off an easy one. Who is this player?
Oh my god, this player swole as shit. And this
Look at
form
that
looks
hand just on
off.
both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Looks like he's shooting with his forehead. He's gonna
It
headbutt
does.
it.
It looks like he's playing volleyball. Like he's just going to throw the ball up. I don't know who this is.
I think
Think
this
about it.
is-
This one's not too hard.
Is he playing right now?
No.
Is this Larry Bird?
This is
No.
Larry Bird.
What? Wow, that's crazy. I was gonna say this is goddamn Joakim Noah. He was just
Nah, I'm in the pocket. I'm in the pocket.
Yeah, this is Larry Bird. Okay, 2 for 2.
as textbook as it can get. Okay.
Yep. Next one. Who is this?
Floater alert, floater alert, floater
Oh, that's-
alert.
No, that's
no,
not a
it's not a
floater.
floater.
That's one hand. And if you see, they got a little bit of a froze. This is Jeremy Sohan.
This is Jeremy Sohan. That's
There
crazy.
we go. You in your bag right now.
Yeah, there's a one-handed free throw.
Brother, lock in with lethal shooter, man. Like, why are we in the NBA taking one-handed free throws?
Because he understands it now.
Clearly he doesn't.
I hope he made the shot. I bet he did.
He probably didn't. He shoots like
It's probably like a 50% chance he made it. All right, 3 for 3 so far. Okay, you guys are kind of cooking. Next up.
This looks like a deep shot. I can tell because
what the
Yeah, it's,
So
it's,
what
it's
the-
a low release point.
This-
It's a low
this
release
is
point.
weird.
I think this is Trey Young. This is a deep
No.
shot.
No,
No.
because Trey Young is more of like a push. This is
Yeah, this looks like a push shot.
I don't think so.
His
think
arc don't
like,
feel as high.
yeah, low key.
Low key.
I can kind of see this being Shea potentially.
Hell.
Hell nah.
Shea
Hell
Shea
no.
doesn't Shea.
I know what you're getting at. No, it's
Yeah.
not Shea. It's also not Trey Young.
Ooh, not Shea, not Trey Young.
But somebody who's also
Shea is a lot closer to the shoulder. It's not so like
So-
weirdly
somebody
out here.
who's-
Okay. I
Also,
think this
weirdly
could
out here is
be
also
Paulo
like Tyrese
Banchero
Halliburton.
if so then.
Bro, this skinny motherfucker thinks it's Paolo Banchero.
I was thinking Tyrese.
This
No
is
way.
Tyrese Halliburton.
What? Oh, man.
Look at his God hand. It's not even on the ball.
He's got 2 fingers on it.
His jumper is crazy.
Paolo Banchero's crazy. Paolo Banchero's swole as hell compared to this.
God damn.
Yeah,
look,
I'm
at,
going Tyrese.
look at Tyrese Halliburton's shoulder. He kind of in the gym a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm lying.
Lateral raises. I see you.
Next up, who is this?
Mm,
This is
this
the
is
fade.
strong. This is ferocious. This smells like greatness. This smells like one of one. This smells like LeBron James, my glorious king.
Spend a lot of time smelling him.
Yo.
Couple whiffs here and there.
This is LeBron James. Correct guess.
Boom! I know that beautiful shot from anywhere. Work of art, masterpiece, if you ask me.
Well,
Oh, so
you're right.
glorious.
All right.
You do know that shot. You got it right immediately.
job,
So
good job.
I guess the glaze is warranted.
It's not glaze. It's in my blood.
Next up, who is this player?
Oh, see, that arm is
Ugh.
too skinny and it's in line. Now, if you know there's only a certain population of people that really, really shoot with their elbow in line, those are the whites. Is this Chet Holmgren?
This is not Chet Holmgren.
Oh, that's
Those are
crazy.
the whites. Okay, he looks left-handed.
It could be lefty though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this lefty?
He
A
looks
thin
left-handed.
lefty? Who can that be? Chris Bosh?
Tayshaun Prince?
Tayshaun Prince. I will say there's something in common with what you said for the first person, but it's not Chet Holmgren.
White man?
Mm.
White lefty? Skinny white lefty? Who are we thinking of here?
I don't know where you're getting lefty from. I don't know what the fuck you're looking at to see lefty.
Well, it looks lefty because it's
looks
a
lefty.
traditional left-hand shot, but I guess it's inverted.
All right, never mind. All right.
I'm
so just-
assuming he's white then.
Yeah, just a white man. All right, let's think. The arms they're mad skinny though.
Keep in mind, I think something got. Oh, yeah, I guess
It's
that's how it looks.
Yeah, the silhouette can be a little bit tricky.
Look at that belly.
The
Oh,
belly.
this is Nikola Jokic.
This
High,
is
the arc is
Nikola
high as hell.
Jokic.
Yeah, the
This is
arc
Ah,
is high.
that's why.
It is from behind too. That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Okay.
lefty? What are you talking about? Yeah, I guess you saw it flipped.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
This
Yeah.
is Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, the release point is dumb high.
Skinny arms, belly.
Yeah, he's
give it
reaching
away.
for the goddamn gods with it when it comes to it. Yeah.
Shooting that bitch from Mount Olympus.
I'm trying.
Next up, who is this?
He's nice as hell. I can already tell.
Damn, Glaze. Oh, he's him. I can tell.
Wait,
Look at that
just show me.
release point,
I hope it's just
No,
not
no,
somebody
no.
that's good.
He's good. I swear to God, he is. There's no
Now, who
way
is
he's
it?
not good.
You said you can tell he has aura from the movement pattern.
Oh God. Oh man.
This isn't a shot losers take. You know?
He's like, oh,
Exactly.
God.
Ah shit. Who is this?
Come on, they're good. Step up. I need a name.
You said he's sexy. Take your pick.
You did say that.
I don't know if sexy's enough. Like I didn't say he was sexy. What the hell? I said it was a sexy shot.
Well, who is
could
it?
Is this? I don't know. This just feels like some two guard. Is this Jordan?
This is not Michael Jordan.
Fuck. Is this Jordan Poole?
It's not Jordan Poole.
Fuck.
All right, so the hand it's close. It's kind of above the head.
Is this Shea?
It's not Shea.
Damn.
This one should be easy.
Is it?
I think so.
Kyrie
I think
Irving.
This is Kyrie Irving.
Ah, there
This
we
is
go.
the shot.
Yeah. So smooth. He's so tough. What I say, Donovan? You thought I was so tough. See, my
He's
tough
so
radar was
tough.
going crazy.
Who is this?
Oh fuck.
See, I don't even know which way they're shooting, and that's a problem.
Look at
Dude,
the
he
monster
shoots
from
as
The
if he's like
Substance.
loading up a lawnmower. He's reaching all the way back.
Who's shooting like this?
It's like
Way over the head.
it's like a therapist blot. What do you see in this?
Exactly.
Way over the head.
You see your darkest fears.
Way over the head like
This is
that.
wild.
He's catapulting the ball.
Nah,
The guy doesn't play in the NBA.
You're describing it properly. Somebody should pop in your head.
Yeah, I'm searching for
Donovan
that
has a
player right
better-
now in my
I think
system.
Donovan has a better chance of getting this one.
I mean, this can't be something crazy like Bill Cartwright or something.
Is it Marcus Camby?
This is not. Fuck no.
Shit.
That's a crazy pull.
Over the back of the
He shoot
head.
funny too, bro.
Who's the funniest looking jump shot you
MKG.
can imagine?
Michael
Correct.
Gordon-
This is Michael
Michael
Gilchrist.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, that's how bad his jump shot is that I'm saying it's going over the back of his head, and it's right there in front. Nobody knows where the ball is. He doesn't know where the ball is.
This is so crazy. It looks worse in the screenshot than it does in real life. This looks madness.
He's one of the most tragic stories in the league, bro. And nothing even
No,
wrong
it's
with
not.
him too.
You have a jumper
He's
like
just not
this.
Most tragic stories. He didn't die.
Not Len Bias.
Who is this player?
Oh, this is Kevin Durant.
This is not Kevin Durant.
Wow.
This is Steph Curry.
Incorrect. This is not Steph Curry either.
Okay, this dude looks
Klay
like
Thompson?
a really,
This is
really
Klay
good
Thompson.
shooter. Yeah, there we go.
The most perfect form you could imagine, just pristine.
Yeah, exactly. It was either gonna be KD, Steph, or Curry.
Yeah, it was somebody
fuck?
perfect.
KD,
Some
Steph,
splash,
Curry.
bro, of some sort.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. You guys are pretty good. You guys didn't really.
That's fun. That's
didn't,
hard, though.
Didn't struggle too
But
much.
it's good.
I couldn't tell if it was
Okay.
hard because I knew him, so it was kind of hard to like divorce that in my head.
Yeah, it got harder when they were
When the
like,
silhouettes
shooting
weren't
free
like
throws.
natural.
yeah, when they're
And they're not-
backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, let's get negative. I want us to name the most disappointing player in the league this year from every position. So it can be a variety of skill sets. It could be from context, like they didn't get opportunity, they didn't play well, whatever it may be to you. Who disappointed you the most this season? Point guard through center. Is there anybody obvious that jumps out that you want to go to right away?
Obvious?
Most disappointed by this season.
Obvious. I don't think so.
I'll say
Yeah,
John Morant.
off rip?
Continuously throughout the season, I will say John
But he's
Morant.
bounced back as of late, so I feel like it's starting to normalize a little bit. And like it was coaching related. But
I
he's
was
up there. Is LaMelo Ball disappointing because of how another year of injuries that
guess
after the hot start, it kind of fell off?
Yeah. For the sake of injuries, yeah. Like for the first, 20, 30 games of the year, he was on fucking fire. And then he missed a couple games. And since then, he shot like 39% from the field for the rest of the season. So I think it's LaMelo. Could be LaMelo.
Yeah.
cool
There's so
with
many
that.
question marks that just still haven't been answered. We still have the same questions we had a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm fine
Center,
with
I mean,
LaMelo.
on this note, we got to go Joel Embiid at center.
100%.
Like, it's not.
That's not a question.
This isn't even disappointing in him. It's just sad that his body's given up on him and we're done with the prime of what was an MVP level player. All you can be is disappointed because it's unfortunate.
And guess what? On top of that, 2 guard, Paul George.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Or I guess
2 or
he's
3.
really more of a 3.
Yeah.
Either one.
Either one. Paul George is on there for sure. You're paying this guy $60 million a year and he looks like he's far past his prime. Damn.
All right, so we have LaMelo. We have LaMelo at the 1, Paul George at the 3, Joel Embiid at the 5. Let's fill in the 2 and the 4.
I
Listen,
mean, Zion got hurt again, only played 30 games, but he looked exceptional when he was there. So I don't know. It's kind of what you expect at this point. So I don't know.
so this guy was kind of already on a downward trajectory, but this year has been absolutely terrible. Bobby Portis at the 4.
I guess. I
Bobby
don't care that
Portis
much.
don't deserve to be on this list, bro. I love Bobby. I know you're a Bobby Portis super fan.
How are you on
Pacific.
PEDs and you are still bad?
Can we just put like the entirety of the Phoenix Suns organization on this list somehow? Just 1 through 5.
Yeah, let's put the Suns.
put
Phoenix Suns.
Matt Ishby at the 2.
Yeah.
Let's put Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's the 2, I think. Bradley Beal is stealing money from the team, which, listen, left is king, robbing those billionaires blind.
Exactly.
Shout out
I'm
him.
not really disappointed in Bradley
Yeah.
Beal.
Shout out proletarian king Bradley Beal stealing from Matt Ishbia. But my God, is he doing cardio?
There was,
He's up
there
right
was
now. We don't give a
yeah,
damn. He won
there
in
was-
life.
There was
Facts.
a clip the other day of them playing the Warriors where he just started yelling after a Steph Curry 3, and they're like, man, he's cheering for the other team.
Bradley Beal could be the 2. 4. Who's going to be a power forward? This one's hard. I mean, low key, Lowry Markkinen, not having a good year because the Jazz are a fake organization. That could be up there.
Okay.
That could be up there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anybody else who's going like
It's either
who's
him or
crazy
it could be
disappointing.
him or Zion or
I'm a little bit disappointed in Scotty Barnes. Maybe that could be the 4, but
Nah,
he's kind of just shown. Yeah, not really him. His team is really bad. I would say.
we can go Lowry because we actually did think that the Jazz were going to be kind of decent at the start of the year. Lowry was a big part of that. They obviously are trash.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go Lowry at the 4.
Tijon Salon.
Pete on Salon.
Is Larry Markin
Okay.
the best answer here for the 4? I'm looking around.
I mean, it could
There's
be,
not a lot of disappointing power forwards.
it could be TJ.
I mean, I
Tijon.
could say. Never mind.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Jalen Johnson did disappoint me because he's been hurt for
Yeah,
the
he's
second
so
straight
good.
year. But he did show development in his game, so it's just like it's a different type of disappointment. Not within his game, I would say.
Yeah. Maybe on the Mavericks. They're so disappointing.
What about the
Goodness.
Julius Randle disappointing?
Nah, he's doing
he's
better.
He
who we
bounced
thought
back.
he should be.
Honestly, I think we might have it down. I think having
Okay.
LaMelo, the Phoenix Suns, Paul George, Lowry Markkinen, and Joel Embiid. I think that's okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with Larry Markin. You know, part of it is the Jazz are tanking, and they're sitting him for injuries that probably don't exist. But also, it just everything has been slightly worse for him this year when we thought he was going to be a recurring All-Star. He'll probably get back to it when the Jazz
He'll be
start trying to win games
He'll be
again,
okay.
but it hasn't been pretty this year.
And guess what? He got his money too. Sitting down.
Hey, shout out to scammers.
We love it.
Okay.
Speaking of scammers, another underrated scammer is Patrick Williams. Remember, like 2 years ago, I was going bat for him. Motherfucker shooting like 39%
Yeah, that was
from
on
the
you.
field.
Who were we debating? It was him or somebody. I forget.
I don't remember. So
Who were we
bad, though.
arguing? I remember I was like, who do you think this motherfucker is? I forgot who we were arguing between.
I feel like you had
Stock
him
is
like
sold.
Keegan Murray or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it might have been Keegan Murray.
Yeah, Keegan Murray, serious? Wow.
I think so.
It was something.
It was
Damn.
outlandish. You had
It don't
Patrick
matter,
Williams
regardless.
in like the top 10.
Oh, power
Yeah.
forward. We go Jonathan Kuminga, low key.
Ooh.
Let's move past it. Actually, is it Kuminga?
I think it is Kuminga.
I mean, listen, I'm trying to get back into the Chase Center, so we'll just go with Lowry Rivers. But
Listen, it hasn't been pretty. He's coming back. He's not fitting with Jimmy Butler. It's not going well. Next thing we're going to do, though,
honorable mention.
I'm going to name 2 NBA players. I want you to tell me who has the higher NBA 2K rating right now.
No, I don't play the game, so
Yeah, none of us are average
Okay.
2K players anymore these days. So,
Yeah.
based on what you expect, who has the higher 2K rating?
I'm washed.
LeBron James or Jason Tatum?
Easily got to be Tatum, but that LeBron juice might be, that Luke LeBron and Laker boost might be real, but I'm still leaning towards Tatum.
I'm never going to say that 2K is going to put Tatum over LeBron. Give me LeBron in 2K.
Wow.
NBA 2K is run by some goddamn hype beast. You are correct. He is one spot above Jason Tatum.
There's no way that LeBron is going to retire anything lower than a 95.
Fact. It doesn't matter if he averages 18 points a game, 94 overall.
I can't even be mad at this, bro. I think it's wrong, but hey, when I put on my LeBron James shades on and I realize who I am at heart, this is correct.
And you realize you look in the mirror and you're like, damn,
I'm a Glazer.
I am a bronze sexual.
It is what it is, and I'm proud.
Next up, Anthony Davis or Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Davis has been out of people's minds for a long time. Anthony Edwards, not only because you had last year where he was great, added the 3-point shot to it. Give me Anthony Edwards.
Keep in mind, Anthony Davis did recently have Lakers juice. How long does it take to wear off?
One update
Bro.
cycle. Give me Anthony Edwards.
I think it's Anthony Edwards too. I don't know why, but AD just looks like Celtic Shaq in this Mavs jersey. Just doesn't feel
Oh my
right
God.
at all. It just don't feel right. So I'm
How disrespectful.
give me Ant-Man.
Anthony Davis is 1 overall higher than Anthony
Wow,
Edwards.
still respecting him.
They don't appreciate the 3-point leap from Anthony Edwards.
What was he last year?
Around this. It's around the same.
They said he
Wow.
did not
Okay.
get better at all.
This is Anthony Davis love, not Ant-Man slander.
Okay.
All right, 2K. Okay.
Put respect on the Mavs legend. Victor Wembanyama or Kevin Durant?
I love Wemby. He's not there yet. It's still Kevin Durant. KD's also another one of those guys where he's not retiring.
Keep in mind, the Suns are absolute dog shit.
I don't care. That boy nice.
They are dog shit too.
that boy nice.
There's a lot of guys on that team that are nice. It doesn't matter. They still suck. I
I'm
don't know.
going Kevin Durant.
The San Antonio Spurs sucked too, even when Wemby was on the court. So I'm leaning towards KD.
Yeah, but the Suns suck in a way that's disrespectful to sports as we know it.
KD
What does that
shot
have to do with
43%
Kevin
from the
Durant's
3-point
ability
line?
to get buckets?
Yeah.
Ankles. It's OD.
This is one of his most efficient years as well. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm leaning towards KD.
Victor Wembanyama is 1 overall higher.
He tried to warn us multiple
Wow.
times.
Okay. Okay, 2K.
That's so ridiculous. Kevin Durant is the perfect 2K player.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess the defensive
You're
stats are out of
wrong,
this
but-
world.
93 for Kevin Durant feels weird.
Yeah, I'm surprised they
does
didn't do that much. It's not crazy, but I'm surprised they were willing to be honest.
I'm surprised it's not even tied up. Okay.
Yeah, listen, they're getting ahead of the Wemby love. You'd rather be too early than too late.
Okay. Shout out to the devs.
Carl Anthony Towns or Cade Cunningham? This was hard.
It is hard because Cat does have that New York love and he's been putting up monstrous numbers, but Cade has arrived.
This is a
Damn,
very
Donovan's
tough
at a
one.
crossroads.
When you think about like public perception and what like the masses will say, this one's kind of hard.
Yes,
The
but
masses.
Cade is blown up this year though. And so that's why I'm stuck.
So has Bodega Cat. He earned that nickname.
Facts.
They didn't give it to him.
Cat has the best PR he's had in a
I'm
decade.
going with Cap. By one.
I think I might lean towards Cade because statistically, thinking about the ratings and shit, he probably has better defensive ratings than Cat.
Mm.
And his offensive ratings may
Cat
not be
is
the
1
same,
overall higher.
But, woo!
Nailed it.
Okay, shout out to Bodega Cat.
There we go, man.
Not-
92 for Cade.
But okay.
93 is
That's gas. That's crazy gas.
As good as Kevin Durant. In
gas.
what planet?
That's ridiculous.
In what planet?
1 overall lower than Wemby.
Toppy is sloppy. That is ridiculous. Next up,
These ratings are kind of high, man. Shit.
Austin Reeves or De'Aaron Fox?
Lakers push. With De'Aaron, new team.
What has this
are we
world
rating
come
it?
to?
It's Austin Reeves is having an amazing season. I understand that.
He's playing an
De'Aaron
all-star for
has-
sure.
He is.
De'Aaron has had somewhat of a down year due to injury and shit.
But it's De'Aaron Fox. Like he has to be over Austin Reeves at least right now.
I feel like they ain't been watching. I'm gonna lean towards. I think they're the same overall.
Oh, you think it's a trick question?
Yeah.
Incorrect. Austin Reeves is 1 overall higher. Shout out the
De'Aaron.
Lakers, man. Shout out the Lakers. We got 3 All-Stars.
I wish we would have told him this during our interview, bruh.
Watch, so we can slander Austin Reeves to my face, make me sad. I'm glad we didn't tell him
Absolutely.
this.
What?
crazy.
That's insane. That's
Listen,
crazy.
man, that white boy is dangerous. How many times I gotta tell you guys?
He is very,
Wow.
very good.
Okay.
But the gap is wider than they think it is.
Oh, so you think Austin Reeves deserves a 90 and he's 4 overall? That you think it's wider than it should be?
Go
This
to hell.
Exactly. This guy.
Ivica Zubac? What was it? Ivica Zubac or Bam Adebayo?
You said it earlier. You think that Zubac is one of the most underrated players in the league.
Correct.
I think that goes to 2K. I'm gonna go with the Olympian and Bam Adebayo.
I agree. I think Bam's stats have took a hit, especially earlier in the year. And I think that he's still working back up to get his credentials back. For now, Zubac.
Oh, you're one Zubac. Donovan went
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh. Damn, I disagree.
I'm
going to
yeah,
Zubac.
I'm going Bam because I'm with you. I think that Zubac is underrated. I don't think that he's getting the love like that. So I think that Bam in this moment is higher.
2K knows ball. Zubac is better by 1 overall.
Okay.
Zubac at 88 overall.
Look
and the
at
Lakers
Zubac.
traded him for Mike Muscala. I want Magic Johnson. I won't even finish my sentence, but it wasn't going to be
I'm
coming.
not
Listen,
going
he's
to
out
be
of there
here.
He's out of
Crazy
there
as
now.
fuck.
Magic Johnson, when I catch you. When I catch you, Magic.
He's like, I'm gonna swing on Magic Johnson if he puts his hands on me.
Oh, that's so. Shout out Zubac, man. Tyrese Halliburton or LaMelo Ball?
This shouldn't even be a question, bro. But 2K has the
You know they feel
wildest
LaMelo at 2K.
inconsistencies.
You know how they feel about LaMelo?
he is the 2K player. Other than Kyrie Irving, KD, it's like LaMelo Ball's right on that list.
I'm going Tyrese. Tyrese is just a better player. I'm going Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, but it's 2K.
By
You
one.
have to realize who's behind these ratings and statistics. I'm gonna lean towards LaMelo Ball.
It's always safe to go towards the hypebeast pick. But this time they know ball. Tyrese Halliburton is 1 overall higher.
1 overall is still disrespectful to Tyrese Halliburton, but okay, 2K. I doubted you.
When they're right, they're right. Broken clock. James Harden or Kawhi Leonard?
This is the trick question. Same rating.
Mo, what do you think?
I think, ooh, man.
One missed a
Kawhi
lot of
has been
time. One held the team down. One's a 2-time Finals MVP who gets a lot of benefit of the doubt. Where are we going?
James Harden had a 50-point game like a couple weeks ago. So I'm leaning towards just Harden for now.
You'd be correct. He is one overall higher at a 90.
James Harden at a 90s. Dude, 2K, this rating inflation is ridiculous.
Zubac at 88, Harden at 90. They better win the fucking playoff series.
Bro, they better win it.
This
This is
No,
crazy.
they have to go to the Western Conference Finals. Back in my day, it was an honor to be a 90. This is crazy.
Yeah, 90 at 88. This is one of
I mean,
the
it's James
2-3
Harden.
best teams in the league.
No,
It is James Harden. We're not talking about a bum.
he's a-
Fucking legend. Okay. Evan Mobley or Paolo Banchero?
So 2K, it's looking like they know a little bit of ball here, and they are crediting people for the season that they've had. So because of that, I think Evan Mobley might be higher than Paolo.
I think Evan Mobley's defensive stats are ridiculous, and they've seen the 3-point shot added into his game. He might be a 75 in that category for 2K now, and it's definitely higher. And I think it should be higher than Paolo's, so I'm going to lean towards Evan Mobley. It's a numbers game.
Evan Mobley is 2 overalls higher at a 92.
Ooh, Evan Mobley at 92. Yo, 2K is the inflation
Superstar.
is crazy, bro.
Hey,
Holy
he
shit.
deserves it. That shit feels accurate to me.
92?
One of the best 2-way
I mean,
players in the NBA.
92?
If Cat's a 93, Evan Mobley deserves a 92.
Again, that's also inflation.
Yeah, inflation
well,
ridiculous.
this is a player
Back
I
in my
like. That's a
day,
player I
he'd
don't
be
like.
an
So I'm going for
85
who saying this is
overall.
worth it. 85 though. He's this an all-star now.
Let's talk about back in my day, though. Back in my day, he's at 85
Your day sucked,
overall.
old man.
My day was correct. We had truth. We didn't give anyone 90s. Evan Mobley's not anyone, though. No disrespect.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Luka Doncic?
Shay.
You got the
This one's
Shai.
tough.
This is Shay's year. This is Shay's year. Through and
Luka's a
through.
Laker.
Luka's had a down year, though. Luka
I
just
don't-
is
it's
just now having
Luka-
his best game of the entire year
it's
in
Luka,
game
and he's a
79 of the
Laker.
year.
I think Luka. I'm going Luka. He's a
OKC
La-
fans, you riot if this is true.
This one's a tough one. The 2 best guards in the NBA, undoubtedly. Right now, Shai is 2 overalls higher.
Woo!
98. You know what's crazy? That's not ridiculous. This feels fair to me. Luka has not been prime Luka at all this season. Shai is insane. 98 is not ridiculous.
Look at
Yeah.
Shai, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not
Wow.
ridiculous to say at all. Okay.
Someone's at the comments are gonna be like, Shai's probably at the free throw line right now, and I bet he's making them all. I bet he deserves it still.
99 free throw rating.
Damn right.
I like that. Okay, good.
Very warranted.
This makes
98
sense.
is crazy.
98 is insane. That's like he might be the best player in the game then if that's the case.
He's tied. Yeah, Giannis, Shai, and Jokic are all 98.
Wow. Okay, 2K.
3 98s in the game?
3 best players in the world.
See, Mo, back in our day.
Shay's a
Never
cool
happened.
like 93, 94 back in my day.
Exactly.
But
DJ blows.
it's okay. My day was correct. My day was when shit was in order.
Okay, next thing we're gonna do. Let's see, what do we have left? Okay, we're gonna rank the top 10 players in the NBA right now going into the playoffs. We're gonna do a combined ranking where I'll do number 1, then you guys go 2, or Donovan goes 2, Mo you go 3, and we'll combine
Okay.
to rank who we think are the top 10 players for the playoffs.
Okay.
So you know,
so-
it's like as of today, going to the series, who you think are the most dangerous players?
Okay.
Top 10. That was a disgusting sounding burp. Straight
those
into the mic.
pistachios and cashews.
Ew.
Dogged them down my throat right before TikTok time. Whoopsies.
Just nut medley. Okay.
The fuck?
Oh,
Any
I
coffee
wasn't
beans,
even. That wasn't even what I was getting at. Oh, triple nut. Damn. Okay. Number 1 player, easily, obviously, going to Nikola Jokic. I think we can go chalk there. That's clear.
Best player in the game.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And that's going to be the case for the playoffs still. Now, is the team going to be good enough for it to fucking matter? No, but he'll be number 1.
Okay.
Donovan, who's number 2?
All right, the second best player heading into the playoffs. This is tough. Because there's 2 options.
There is. You know the right one. You know the right one.
We
I just
we
been
gotta
boiling
go.
with this
We
thing.
gotta go with the MVP. We're going Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
That's not ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
very fair. He's playing. He's clearly the best scorer in the NBA right now. Bucks fans, I understand. Giannis is still amazing. Salute. I think he's fine if he's 3.
Giannis' defense has been ridiculous. This is the easiest 3 of my goddamn life. There's an argument for him to be number 2. The defense is insane. The rebounding's there. His passing over the last few weeks since Dame has been out, or last 2 weeks since Dame has been out, have been ridiculous again. He's easily number 3. Number 4, the conversation's open now.
Yeah, 4. I feel inclined to go Jason Tatum and respect the body work. If Luka's rounding into shape, it could be Luka. But for the whole season, Tatum's been better.
We're talking about heading into the playoffs.
So are we projecting or what are we seeing today?
Heading into the playoffs.
Fuck it, we're going Luka.
Whoo, man.
Tatum's been better all year. I'm not
can't
gonna lie.
even
Tatum
respect
has been
Tatum?
better.
That's
You can't
wild.
respect
Tatum's been
Tatum
better.
in
That's
this moment?
as well.
Tatum's been
on
better all
now.
year, but listen, playoff Luka, I'm gonna take the bet.
That's why.
I'm being honest. It's blind faith. I'm a Lakers fan. Don't expect objectivity here.
That
Fuck
is
off.
why I'm going with Jason Tatum at 5.
Ah, man.
Should be 4. But I'm going.
Listen, he's been better for the regular season.
I'm
I won't
going
deny
Tatum
it.
at 5.
Tatum's been better all year.
Damn. I wonder how long we're gonna go without saying a player from the Cavs. Because I ain't picking a Cavalier right now. Hell no, not this
Yeah.
soon.
I didn't
Okay.
intend to.
Okay.
Number 6, Mo.
Number 6. These are where the vets come in. I could say Steph. I could say LeBron. Wouldn't be crazy for either of those guys. I'm gonna lean towards LeBron because I trust his decision making, and I think the defense is gonna remain to hold true.
Glaze.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Don't tell me Glaze when you just picked Luka over Tatum.
LeBron at 6 is way crazier than that. LeBron at 6 is insane.
No, you don't. But oh my God, how can you call yourself a Laker fan and willing to glaze?
I guess we'll go Anthony Edwards at 7. I feel like that's fair. Am I missing somebody? Because it's Anthony
Steph?
Edwards, Steph, or Brunson? I guess those are the 3
Brunson's
that I'm choosing between.
around this conversation. Yeah.
So like personally, I would have Brunson at like 6 or 7, but the fact that he's coming off of an injury and still like is taking just a little bit of time to get back into his rhythm, I can see him being at the bottom of this list.
I'll go Steph. We'll go Steph because he has help now. We think he'll look like Steph in the playoffs, but I'm not mad at going Ant-Man.
Okay.
Mo,
Who you got,
Donovan, where are you going?
I got to pick with my heart. I'm going with Mr. Brunson at 7.
Over Anthony
See,
Edwards?
there's this
Jalen,
glaze
stop
off right
it.
now.
No, but this is not
It's not
even glaze
crazy.
off. We've
I
seen
get
Jalen Brunson in the playoffs put offenses
No,
on
it's
his,
good. I
on his
understand.
back,
I understand.
score 40 night after night after night. I'm going with Jalen Brunson.
I understand. It's just a health thing. That's the only thing that's in the air. Is he going to be 100%? But it's not ridiculous.
I love that we're putting in this top 10. He deserves it.
Yeah, for
So-
sure. That's not crazy at all.
I guess to finish this off, naturally I have to pick Anthony Edwards. He
Put him
can't,
at 9?
there has been times where he's given the Timberwolves or helped them give 40 while also playing elite defense on the perimeter. So I think that's the easy pick.
So who's number 10? 10's hard. Let's do this by committee because I don't know who was number 10.
Okay, so the options are we can take somebody from the Cavs. We can take
So you can go D-Mitch, you can go Cade,
yeah.
you can go Tyrese Halliburton.
Do we
can
go Kawhi? Does Kawhi belong in these conversations?
I don't think so. Just
Oh.
consistency. I don't,
Ja.
I'm not
I'm
doing
not
that,
going
but I
Jaw over
understand.
Cade. So yeah, I think that if those are the options, I might lean towards Cade.
You know what?
Cade over D. Mitch.
I'm going to go D-Mitch.
No,
He hasn't been
yeah, D-Mitch.
D-Mitch has taken a step back to allow others to eat this year, but I think if he needs to in a playoff setting, he can still turn it up. I'll go him over Cade, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, let's do that.
I can't be.
Like I
be
can't
mad
not
at that
have
at all.
I can't not have a Cav in the top 10.
Yeah, I can't be
That
mad
would
at
be
that.
disrespectful.
So we got Jokic, Shea, Giannis, Luka, Tatum, LeBron, Steph, Brunson, Edwards, D-Mitch.
It
We
feels
move.
fair. It feels
That
fair.
feels pretty good. And like we're giving Steph the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it's ridiculous.
We're giving LeBron and Steph the benefit of the doubt.
LeBron's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I hope he plays this level because the Lakers
We're
are
gonna
fucking
see. Yeah,
waltzing to the conference finals.
Yeah,
but
if they
this-
have
watch.
the fourth and
this is
sixth
gonna
best player
age like
in the
wine
league,
3-4 weeks from now. You're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's
you
cooking.
don't even drink wine.
no, I will. There's no scenario why.
All right, clip this, y'all.
You know
There's no
LeBron
world.
does.
Listen,
I don't
man,
drink
shout
wine.
out
I'm
him.
on La Hennessy. Leave me alone.
You
I
don't
hope
even have
you're
a bottle.
Oh, I don't. Damn.
Okay, and last thing we're gonna do a little quasi playoff prediction where we're gonna have some like superlatives that we're going to put in. These are your final predictions before the playoffs start. You got to stand on it. A variety of categories.
Stand on it.
Yep. I'm going to ask you a question. You just answer it.
Okay.
Why is it not working? Who wins the Western Conference?
Oh man, just straight up like this.
Yep.
This is tough.
No, it's not. It's the OKC Thunder.
But I'm picking the team that's 14 games ahead of the second seed. I'm leaning towards the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been dominant since day one through all types of injuries, whether it be Chet Holmgren breaking his hip, Isaiah Hartenstein missing out on some time, J-Dub missing out towards the back half of the season. They're like that through any lineup possible. I'm leaning towards OKC.
Unless Luka Doncic walks in and makes history, I'm going OKC.
I'm going with the Thunder.
Yeah.
I've picked the Thunder before the season, mid-season. Right now, the Thunder are winning the title.
Yeah. They can lose the title, but I'll be shocked if they don't get there. I'll be baffled if they don't end up in the finals. Who's going to win the East? Now, this one's tough. Legitimately, two teams you could pick.
No, it's not. Boston Celtics. I think that the Celtics.
It's a conversation at least.
It is. But I do think that the Celtics, for me, I'm picking them, and I think that they, even if they played the Cavs in the conference finals, they'd beat the Cavs in 6 games, and they would go to the NBA finals that way.
I think it's fair to pick the Celtics, but there's a real chance you're wrong and the Cavs win, which could always happen. I don't think there's a chance you're wrong and the Thunder don't make it there. Whereas the Celtics, there's a little bit of an opening, but that's fair.
I'm going Boston.
And you got me. I'm outvoted. I'm leaning towards Boston.
It's not outvoted. Who do you think?
Which young star will surprise people in the playoffs?
Who? Young star.
Who's going to have their big coming out party and really shock the world?
I think this award belongs to Cade Cunningham.
You think he'll beat the Knicks?
Yeah, I think if it ends up shaking that way, which
I'm
is
pulling
looking
up
like
to
it
your
will.
house. Black trucks.
I think Cade Cunningham and the rest of those guys could genuinely have a series of the century. I think the series could actually go like 7 games as well. I don't know if Cade's going to necessarily outplay someone like Jalen Brunson, of course, but I think in terms of how he's going to hold up in some of the performances I think he's bound to have due to the nature of his game and how efficient he will feel in the playoffs, I'm going to take Cade.
My mind goes to Anthony Edwards and Amen Thompson. I can see him. Amen just keeps getting better and better, keeps getting bigger and bigger spotlight, making bigger and bigger plays and bigger moments. I won't be shocked that it just keeps going. And like the Rockets win a series people don't expect because he's just a demon on both sides of the ball.
If I am incorrect and the Rockets do win a series, then the answer will be Amen. I think,
or it could be Sengun, low key.
Listen, they had a long run last year. I think Tyrese Halliburton reintroduces himself and is like, hey, I'm actually like a good player.
Yeah.
Like I'm not somebody on a superstar free trial anymore.
That's a good one.
I'm going with Tyrese.
Next one, or we'll go to it. Which player will prove their doubters wrong?
Tyrese Halliburton.
This is where I'm going Tyrese Halliburton. So much of the NBA world still treats him like he's a fraud who didn't deserve the hype he got, even though he's bounced back and he's a good player again. I think he's going to continue to be just as good as he has been. It's going to be Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay. I think I'm going to lean towards the other conference. I'm leaning towards OKC, specifically Jalen Williams, J-Dub. I think he has a very good opportunity to prove his legitimacy as a second star. There's a lot of pressure relieved from him, not only defensively, but offensively too, now that he has those two bigs who can play make and have their whole entire actions going on. I think the load is a lot easier for him to carry as a second star, and
or it could be
they'll
Shai.
view him as that guy.
People that don't like Shai decided that he's some fraud free throw merchant. It's not going to work in the playoffs. He's going to average 30 in the playoffs. I guarantee it.
He averaged 30 last
Shai.
year. Those people are so dumb. It was an efficient 32. His numbers look so identical compared to his his regular season production.
So I guarantee you Shai will prove the haters wrong, but that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Who will prove their haters right?
Ooh.
Which player is gonna confirm all the suspicions about them?
Cat. Karl Anthony Towns.
Oh, probably.
That's the easiest one.
If they see the Celtics, he's probably going to get diced up.
Don't do it.
Oh, it's probably Cat. You're right.
I hate it so much.
I didn't even think about that. It's just it's a Celtics thing, man. It's not even about Cat. The Celtics are just the worst matchup for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do him like that.
I don't know who else. I don't even. It's like so clearly Cat. I don't know who else it could be.
He is
at this point. In this moment, Ja Morant has a lot of doubters. He has a lot of haters. If they go out sad, he will be proving a lot of people right.
Jamal Murray, maybe if he doesn't have a crazy series again, he's battling some injuries
Yeah.
already. If he's not 100%, people are going to ignore the injuries and say, look at this fraud. He's not a playoff riser.
Let's double dip on top of Jamal Murray in that same conference. Kawhi Leonard, if he just doesn't end up remaining healthy, or James Harden, if the defense holds up or whatever for the Clippers, and they still don't have enough offensive juice, that's probably going to be on your shoulders. So those two.
A lot of people want some shit to prove.
Yeah.
Which team will fall apart and have to blow it up?
Good Donovan. Same pose as LeBron. You want to be LeBron so bad. I don't believe you. I do too.
Don't put that on me.
And blow it up is the hard part. Because I can see the Knicks falling apart, just coming into the playoffs with injury, but they're not going to blow it up.
Hey,
it's not going to be that bad.
We are gonna go.
Oh, the Bucks is the clear
Thank
answer.
you. The
What is it?
Milwaukee Bucks.
Or low-key, the Nuggets. They already have a change of leadership. If they go out in the first
They already
round,
blew it up.
but they go out in the first round, Michael Porter Jr., you're not safe. Jamal Murray, you might not be safe. Both of these teams with MVP big men, none of you guys are fucking safe if you lose in the first round.
Do you guys think if the Cleveland Cavaliers got upset, they would have to blow it up?
Blow it up? No. Would they maybe trade Jared Allen? Maybe, but that's not really blowing it up.
Okay, blowing it up is like completely.
The only outcome is
dismantling
if they
the
trade
team.
Jared Allen and put Evan Mobley at center and like trade him for a big wing or something, which that's not blowing it up. That's
Well, no, I can see a world in where like someone like Darius Garland disappoints as well, and they're like, okay, this shouldn't work. I don't think it'll
I doubt
happen,
that.
Like
Wait,
you,
go
but
back. Go,
I think
go,
that's
go back 2 slides
there's an
which
opportunity
one?
where it
to,
blows up.
to the doubter slide.
who's gonna prove them wrong or right?
Who's gonna prove the doubters wrong?
Who's
Okay.
gonna prove their doubters wrong?
Darius Garland.
Okay.
now that you brought him up, I'm
love
so
it.
sick and tired of people talking about Darius Garland like he's not like that. Like he didn't
Yep.
have his jaw broken last year. He's going to be fantastic in the playoffs this year. We're going with him.
Only reason I didn't say him is because he's gonna have to defend his ass off against the Celtics, and that's gonna be difficult. So that's the part that people might doubt for good reason. We'll see. But offensively, yeah, he's gonna be completely
When
fine.
he's
I think.
averaging 22 and 6 in the playoffs, don't say nothing.
Sure, that's a very reasonable bar. I agree. That's fair.
They don't think he could do that. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I don't have a good grasp of how much the doubters doubt on him right now.
They really be hating.
Who wins the finals? Final prediction. Who comes out with the chip?
Ooh. I think OKC probably has a historic season. And it's gonna
It's
be
OKC or it's the
Shea and
Celtics.
OKC. God
Everything
damn
on
it.
paper says OKC, but obviously the Celtics are the reigning champs for a reason. They have the benefit of the doubt. Which side are you going on? The new kids or the proven vets?
What's very interesting about this is that nobody wants to say the Thunder because they said that they have to prove it, but there's never a better feeling than saying, I told you so. And being early, and I'm going with the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the title.
The second they got Alex Caruso and Hardenstein,
I put you on.
I tweeted that they are the 2015 Warriors. I still feel that way. They're gonna win it, in my opinion. They have a top 3 net rating of all time. No team in the top 5 has ever not won a championship. I'm gonna go with the side of history. If you're this dominant in the regular season, 100% of the time it has translated.
They're the best regular season defensive team that you've seen in quite some years, and that's also like something that's been underrated about this team overall. I'm leaning towards OKC.
If they don't win, I'm gonna delete my Twitter account because everybody's gonna be mean to me.
They will be.
They'll be
Your
so mean.
legacy
They're gonna be so
is
harsh.
on the line.
I'll have to just take it because I'll have to have deserved
They
it.
gotta call you all types of names.
I already got people in my. Never mind. They're gonna get me deported. And that's the end of this episode. If you're still here, what should people comment?
No, I'm not
Comment.
gonna
Don't let
He's
them
a
deport you. He's a threat. If you're still here, comment Stephen A. Smith is horny. And we'll see y'all next week for the first episode of the NBA playoffs.